Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. For the second time in as many days, a college basketball champion will be crowned. Yesterday, it was the Connecticut women's team winning a 12th title. Tonight, Florida and Houston clash in the men's national championship game. It'll be a battle of strength on strength. Gators ranked second in the nation in KenPom in adjusted offensive efficiency. Cougars ranked first in adjusted defensive efficiency. Two-time national champion with the Florida Gators, Corey Brewer.
They're pressure. Those guys, they defend, and they're going to pressure. So we got to take care of the ball. If we can take care of the ball and, don't let the pressure get to us, we win the game. But those guys play hard. Coach Sampson's a great coach. He's been coaching for a long time, been doing it for a long time. And so we got to stay ready, stay poised, stay calm, handle the pressure, and we win.
Corey Brewer on Unsportsmanlike. Baseball on this Monday. Andy Ibanez, 3-run homer off Carlos Rodon. Tigers leading the Yankees 3-0 top four amid snow flurries in Detroit. NBA, Trailblazers GM Joe Cronin agreed to a multi-year extension. Portland's got 35 wins this season, a 14-win improvement over last season so far.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Tuesday as the season winds down, the Denver Nuggets are struggling to find answers. So is it time to panic for Jokic and the crew? It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Alondra Villarreal. Just saying Alondra Villarreal makes you want to headbang a little bit. Little hair metal. Mr. Toby Tom Play. Crank that up, Alondra. There we go. Let's go. Good weekend. Great weekend. All right. We're here. Glad you are as well. Y'all get out there and make it an awesome one. Tigers sweep the Sooners. LSU basketball crushed in the portal. Shedeur Sanders now the betting favorite to land with the New Orleans Saints. We got I almost said a butt ton. A ton to do. Let's begin. Then I said it. Let's begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Yes, a decidedly different mood than 1 week ago today. 1 week ago today, I was laid up in my bed, hopped up on Oxy and muscle relaxers with a absolutely broken back. Today, feel much better. Glad to be here. Glad you are as well. Okay. How about them Tigers, y'all? Baseball season is, I often say, 56-game evolution. And over the course of those 56 games, your strengths are revealed, your weaknesses are exposed, you have questions about yourself that you try to then mix and match and refine to get answers, and you hope that by the time you get to May and then ultimately into June, you are the best version of yourself and you go play your best ball for 3 weeks in June and hopefully you win a national championship. Like that's kind of how a baseball season goes in a nutshell. And I think up until this point in the season, we've learned a lot about this LSU team and they keep checking boxes. For example, at the beginning of the season, what was one of the most giant questions we had? Left side of the infield, right? Mila moving over to short, Braswell moving over to third. Would it work out? Well, emphatically, that got answered early. We also talked early in the season about catcher, especially defensively. That was such a liability. Well, Luis Hernandez, while he's not an elite defensive catcher, he has certainly stabilized you there. That's undeniable. We could talk about one of the big sort of points of angst was length from your starters. Well, you're now emphatically getting that answer as well. And one of the questions that was fair to ask going into this weekend at Oklahoma was if LSU could win a true road series against a good opponent. I mean, yes, going into this past weekend, you were 7-2 in conference play. You had swept Missouri, you had swept Mississippi State. But those are two bad teams that you swept at home. The one true road series you played at top 10 Texas, you lost the series. And so disappointing, too, because it exposed your bullpen because you had game 2 in hand, 5-2 in the 5th, and your bullpen couldn't hold it. Very disappointed. But what happened? You started to see an evolution where now Jay Johnson and Nate Yeske are managing and manipulating their weekend how they can to make sure they put Evans and Cowan in spots to be able to extend to mask some of the deficiencies in the bullpen. Well, you go on the road against a top 10 team in 40-degree weather with the wind blowing in, a place you've never played, facing a lefty in Kyson or a starter in Kyson Witherspoon who's a projected top 15 overall pick, and you sweep them. Not only did you sweep them, you never trailed, and oh, by the way, you didn't allow a single earned run. According to the great Todd Polides, that's the first time that's happened since at least 1992 when they have comprehensive SEC records in a road conference series for LSU. That is stunning. That is a stunning mouthful to say all that. You didn't just go on the road and sweep a series. You dominated Oklahoma, start to finish. Was never in doubt. Stunning to see all that unfold. And you have emphatically checked another box that you had that was a question about this team. So you start to ask, like, is this a national championship team? Absolutely it is. I'm not telling you here today on April the 7th that they're going to win it. But you look at what it takes to win it, they have everything. Like, let's go through it. This weekend, you go on the road, you win this series, you used only 5 pitchers. You could say that's not sustainable, and I would argue, by the way, that's not sustainable. You get into a regional weekend, or certainly in Omaha, you're going to need more than 5 guys. But such a key part of getting to Omaha is making sure the path runs through the box, being a national seed. Well, you're 12 games in, you're not even halfway through league play, and you're at 10-2. I mean, you go 500 the rest of the way. You go 500 the rest of the way. I mean, you're going to get just shy of 20 league wins, and you're going to be right in line to be a national seed. You have 3 viable starting pitchers. That is a luxury. Very few programs actually have 3 viable starting pitchers that they know they're going to. LSU, the 2023 national champion LSU Tigers did not have 3 starting pitchers throughout the entire of conference play. This team has it, and they can extend. And this weekend against Oklahoma, my goodness, the spots, they were so clutch. And Jay Johnson mentioned this with Hester and T-Bob last Thursday in their interview, where he said the key to controlling an offense like Oklahoma that gets on base and runs so much is getting the first guy out. Routinely, you saw LSU's pitchers get that first guy out, and when Oklahoma got a guy on base, time and again, LSU came up with the big strikeout. Oklahoma on the weekend was 3 for 26 with runners in scoring position. That's a 115 average. And by the way, one of those hits was the hit into left where Curiel was playing shallow. The run didn't score from second. So it was incredible all weekend long. Another question we had, and you can raise your hand. You can be honest. Hernandez and Chris Stanfield. You can be honest. Hey, look. Hey, this is a safe space. The trust tree in the nest, are we not? This is the safe space where you could say, yeah, Scone, I was doubting Chris Stanfield. I thought he might take a seat next to old Jay Johnson. I was talking about moving Curiel over to center and putting Brown and Ashton Larson in the outfield, or maybe Pearson. How about this? Chris Stanfield, all he had was a nice 4 for 5 day this weekend. Stanfield's season batting average up to 327. Not sure if you know, but you've played 12 SEC games. In 12 SEC games, Chris Stanfield is hitting .375, which leads your team. Your 9-hole hitter that a lot of you wanted benched is your leading hitter in SEC play through 12 games at .375. If you're wondering, by the way, your second leading hitter in conference play is Luis Hernandez at .340 with 4 homers. Not bad. Oh, and Stanfield also is an elite center fielder who saves you runs defensively and scores damn near every time he gets on base. Now, I know he missed the sign on the squeeze play in Game 2, and that sucked. It didn't ultimately hurt you, but I also have a pretty big issue with playing on the squeeze play and bunting. But neither here. We're not going to go down the whole bunting road. Anyway, bottom line is Stanfield's been great. A veteran guy that's played in 200 career college games, having that guy in center field where he's got elite speed defensively and is producing in the 9-hole. What this means is you are dangerous 1 through 9 in your lineup. And I don't mean that like as a throwaway line. There is no out in your lineup. And a lot of times you have guys that are just outs in your lineup. I mean, I think back to the 2015 LSU Tigers. The 2015 LSU baseball team, and I think 2023 kind of became this as well. But the 2015 LSU baseball team was as complete a lineup 1 through 9 as I can remember. And I know how it goes because when a team doesn't win it in Omaha at LSU, and that is the standard by which you are judged, history forgets you. Like 2013, by the way, this LSU team right now is 30-3 through 33 games. That team started 33-3, if I'm not mistaken. Like that 2013 team was incredible. They lost 9 games all year. They were stunningly good. They just went 0-2 in Omaha. So history's going to forget about them. But 2015, Cade Savick, 355, Andrew Stevenson, 348, Christian Aya, 344, Connor Hale, 327, Mark Laird, 323, Bregman, 323, Chambers, 307, Fraley, 307. The only regular player who wasn't over 300 was Jared Foster, who hit 278 that season in 54 starts. But, oh, by the way, he got on base 37% of the time, and he had 10 homers. The quote-unquote worst guy in your lineup hit 278 with 10 bombs. I mean, there was no out in that lineup. This lineup is resembling that, just with a lot more power in it. Certainly a different era of baseball where you just see more balls leave the yard. But it's really impressive to see, man. Oh, by the way, a lot of y'all wanted Michael Braswell benched as well. He's hitting 304 in conference play. Not bad for that guy. Josh Pearson, on the other hand, is hitting 212. Jay Johnson has nailed the Josh Pearson experiment. For his career, he's like a cumulative 225 hitter, but he has some massive moments. And when Jay knows like when to push that button, that go-go gadget arm button for Josh Pearson, it's awesome. Like hitting 2 homers in game 2, right? It's just Jay has a great finger on the pulse with Josh Pearson in those moments. But cumulatively, it's not very good. And moments, outstanding, and he's got to have a role. But it's like double dutch. The ropes are going, time your jump, Jay. When do you want to time that jump for Josh Pearson? When he does, generally, he hits it out the park. Baseball pun. Of course, we're going to talk plenty about bullpen depth, and that's still something we got to see. But guys are allowed to improve. We've talked tons about Thatcher Hurd. Going into the season in 2023, Hurd was supposed to be a dude for you. It didn't really manifest. He was coming off of injury. By the end of the season, he's got the ball in the national championship game and was nails for you. I can go back to Zach Hess as a freshman in 2017. Hess remember, he started the season as a midweek starter. They were trying to figure out a role. By the end of the season, he was untouchable in Omaha. Those things happen as the season develops. And so maybe it's Connor Ware, or maybe it's William Schmidt, or maybe it's Jaden Newt, or maybe we see Gavin Guidry come back, and that's the ultimate wild card. If he comes back and is great for you out of the bullpen, he could be another valuable piece. All that to say, it's an evolution, but you've checked so many boxes already. The one thing you're looking is like, do you have enough arms out of the bullpen? Well, you got plenty of arm talent. You need to figure out roles, and you got plenty of time still to figure that out. Listen, you've still got big tests to come. Through 4 weekends, you played Missouri, which is 0-12 in the league, Texas, which is 11-1. State is 3-9, and Oklahoma is now 5-7. The cumulative record of the teams you've played is 19-29. That's a .395 winning percentage. What you have ahead, Auburn, Bama, Tennessee, A&M, Arkansas, South Carolina, their combined winning percentage is .527. You're going to face, the gauntlet is coming. And by the way, the worst team record-wise that you're going to face, South Carolina, one game better than them is A&M. And did y'all see what A&M did this weekend? Yeah, they went on the road and beat Tennessee. Beat their ass, by the way, in Game 3. Run-ruled them on their field. So let's hope A&M didn't, snap out of it this weekend. Let's hope they go right back into their slumber. But it shows what they're capable of. And you got to go play in College Station. So there's still a lot of big tests to come. And you're going to find out plenty about yourself. You could lose a series to Tennessee. You could lose a series at A&M. You could lose a series at home to Arkansas. Those are really good teams. But at this point, you're going to win enough to make sure your path to Omaha goes through Baton Rouge. And as long as that's the case, you're good enough to win it. You got to get there, and you got to be playing your best for those days in Omaha. But this team is plenty good enough to get there, and I think they continue to answer that question emphatically. All right, it's After Further Review. David Dellucci will be here in Hour 3 as he is every Monday. Our show open every day brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers. So if you're at the box, if you're at the Maravich Center, you're at Tiger Stadium, wherever you're cheering on the Tigers, make sure you got plenty of ice-cold Bud Light. I was told today is National Beer Day. Did you know that? Did you guys know that? Alondra, did you know that?
I did know that. We talked about it this morning.
Well, that's why we have you here, naturally. Musso would not have known that.
No.
If it were 420 Day, Musso would know that.
Oh, yeah.
He'd look at a calendar and be like, it's my day.
Yeah.
But today's National Beer Day. So grab plenty of ice-cold Bud Light and drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. All right, it is After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We'll go around the SEC bottom of this hour. When we come back, there are new betting odds, updated betting odds for the NFL Draft. And the New Orleans Saints are now the betting favorite to land Shedeur Sanders. We're talking about it next on AFR.
After Further Review.
River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. Give them a buzz, y'all. 752-0001, 752-0001. I keep reminding you about the preseason AC tune-up. We always get one more, don't we? We always get one more cold snap. And we're in it. It's 53 degrees right now on April the 7th. We were almost touching 90 a couple of weeks ago. So this is it. This is the final one to come through before, when this ends, we'll be back into the 90s, and then we're just steamrolling toward triple-digit temps. Make sure your AC is ready for the grind of a Louisiana summer. Call River City's 1 Hour Air. Don't wait, y'all. Get your preseason AC tune-up. If you can't remember the last time you've done this, then it's time, because you should do this every year. It's like an oil change for your car. You do the standard maintenance to make sure that it lasts year after year after year for you. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with a giant clock on the side, 752-0001.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
Man, Age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
I could walk in here blindfolded, never open my eyes or look up, and I'll know if Alondra's producing.
Gotta get creative with it. I don't want to come back with generic stuff.
No. I love it. I mean, it's just because it's my wheelhouse, right? So if we're talking 90s or alt rock, you're in my musical wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And we could do whatever. I mean, I say it tell Musso all the time. You play fart noises come out of breaks. It doesn't matter. It's just not a thing that people. It can all add accent and color to the show, of course, but it's not why people ever listen. I really don't care. Play whatever you want. But Alondra just defaults straight into 90s alt rock, and it just warms my heart. That the younger generation, I'm calling you the younger generation.
I am.
You're younger than me. You're not young, but you're younger than me.
I'm pretty young.
Oh, that's fine. You're younger than me. I'm not saying you're old.
I'm let's relax.
I'm not saying you're old. Some people scoff at the notion of being called young.
No, I think I'd rather be called young than old. Maybe that's a girl thing.
Wise.
I don't know.
Old or wise, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. All right. The only guest today is Luch. We'll talk to Luch in hour number 3. We've got a ton to talk about. If you want to get in, you can. Email us, tweet us, text us. You can text the show 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways you get involved in the show. Okay. We are getting to the point now where all of the Shedeur Sanders, New Orleans Saints conversation is getting so loud. I'm kind of at the point mentally where I'm just expecting this to happen now. And I'm going to be actually kind of disappointed if it doesn't happen now. I don't know if you've heard the latest, but all of the sports books, the odds makers, have updated their prop bet odds. And it's very difficult, by the way, just as before I don't, at the risk of bearing the lead, it's very difficult to find value in betting on the draft anymore because the information is so good, meaning all of the odds makers know, they know going in what's more than likely going to happen. So it's not like the chance of what could happen in a game, right? You play a basketball game, a football game for 60 minutes, and you think you set your line, but sometimes you have blowouts. I mean, uncanny things happen in a game. This isn't that. It's not necessarily a game of chance. It's like in the Super Bowl when you see prop bets on the national anthem. Well, whoever the artist is, they go practice the anthem for, however many times at the venue before they actually go sing it in the game. So they have someone in there, someone making popcorn or whatever, the stopwatch, someone just standing outside of the stadium listening. So they know generally how long it's supposed to be. There's an answer to the question already. So there's just not great value because that's what sets the odds. What's similar with the draft. They're going to play a game. It's just what's the intel saying about what the team wants to do, and that's who's going to be written down on the card. It's like, well, we know Cam, is going to be the number one pick in this year's draft, Cam Ward. So anyway, both DraftKings and FanDuel on Monday updated their NFL draft prop bet odds, and both now have Shedeur Sanders as the favorite to land with the New Orleans Saints. Saints plus 300 to draft Shedeur. The Giants next at plus 350. The Steelers at plus 600. Browns at plus 650. Then a big drop-off. Jets, Raiders, Rams all at plus 1,000. So if you look at kind of how the top of the draft could very well play out, you got Tennessee at 1. Everyone's assuming they're going to take Cam Ward. With Cleveland at 2, that's likely going to be Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. That could be flipped on its head depending on what player goes there. And it is widely assumed, because the Giants have signed both Russ and Jameis, that they're not going to take a quarterback at 3. Now, I'm not convinced of that, because we've seen plenty of examples throughout history of teams who are seemingly set at quarterback who draft a quarterback. It happened literally last year when the Atlanta Falcons guaranteed 9 figures to Kirk Cousins and went and drafted Michael Penix 8th overall. We could talk about all the examples in history of similar situations like that where teams seemed set at quarterback and then took a quarterback in round 1. If it was Kansas City taking Patrick Mahomes when they had Alex Smith, you can go back, of course, to Aaron going to Green Bay when Favre was there, or Favre going to Green Bay. Like, there's always, Jordan Love going to Green Bay when Aaron was there. So there's always examples that can illustrate the counterpoint. But I keep looking at this, and a lot of the circumstantial evidence really does make sense. At Shedeur's Pro Day on Friday, Dion had this to say about the possibility of Shedeur playing with the Saints.
Coach, could you speak to the possibility of Shedeur being coached by Kellen Moore, who's coached Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, and recently?
Say it again.
Speak to the possibility of Shedeur being coached. Yes, sir.
The Saints?
Yes, sir.
I like the colors. I like the colors. I like the city. I like the food. I like the people. I like the possibilities.
Okay. Now, Dion has been pretty outspoken in saying he wasn't going to let Shedeur or Travis go to a spot he didn't want him to go to. And if we're being very honest with each other, from the Saints lens, there's not a lot for New Orleans to offer right now, okay? The roster is old, expensive. You're not close to winning. There's one team in the entire NFL that has worse odds to win the Super Bowl next year than you. That's Cleveland. And Cleveland is a joke. And it's a smelly city by a lake that catches on fire. Their main export is crippling depression. Look it up, kids. Shedeur was also asked at his pro day about the Saints, in particular, Kellen Moore. Here's what Shedeur said on Friday.
I think he's a great coach, and I also think I watched him a little bit in college. So we're so young. Like I didn't know that was that. So I know that's what he was in college. But then when I looked him up and did the research and all that, I'm like, dang, like he did everything I'm trying to accomplish. And so he knows the recipe, and a lot of people that play the position understand, that point of view versus just a different point of view versus like the sky or the sideline.
Now, Kellen Moore didn't do everything that Shedeur is trying to accomplish, because Kellen Moore was obviously the winningest college quarterback ever and did make it as a backup in the NFL, but he certainly wasn't a first-round pick, and he never became a franchise quarterback, which is what Shedeur is trying to do. For what it's worth, our guy Ross Jackson over at LouisianaSports.net has his updated mock draft, which is available right now if you want to go check it out. And at number 9 overall, Ross Jackson has Shedeur Sanders going to the New Orleans Saints with the 9th pick. Interestingly enough, he also has the Saints taking C.J. West. If that name sounds familiar, remember C.J. West was the mid-major defensive lineman from Kent State who LSU was in on before 2023, who ended up going to Indiana. Passed on LSU, went to Indiana. And I guess 2024, this last season, when LSU was desperate for a defensive lineman last year in the portal. He ended up going to Indiana. And anyway, he's got Ross has C.J. West mocked to the Saints in round 3. That would be interesting on the D-line. I don't want to lose point of it, though. I think where I'm continuing to focus with the Shedeur conversation, first of all, like, Vegas is acting based on not what they feel could happen. It's what information they have is directing will happen. That's number one. And number two, I'm looking at it through the lens of, do you use the 9th pick on a quarterback that's not going to necessarily help you win in 2025? And my answer to that has been, will continue to be, if you feel like that guy can be your franchise quarterback, then you take him. The Packers did this with Jordan Love. They also did it with Aaron Rodgers. Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs, I mean, hate to bring up a bad memory, but in the 2017 draft, the New Orleans Saints were going to take Patrick Mahomes 11th overall. The Chiefs jumped ahead of him one spot, took Mahomes, and we know the rest is history. He sat in 2017, and then his second year as a starter, he won a Super Bowl. I mean, I could talk about Aaron Rodgers, was drafted in 2005. He sat for 3 years in Green Bay behind Favre. Finally, they let Favre walk to the Jets. Aaron became the starter. Ron became the starter. And in 2010, the guy wins a Super Bowl. Became one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen. I mean, I actually think that it's good for a quarterback not to have to come in right away and be the guy in the NFL. Because generally, if you're first-round quarterback, you're going to a bad team. Generally. Not always, but generally speaking. Like Ben Roethlisberger went to a stable situation in Pittsburgh. But that's an outlier. That's an exception. The rule is you're Zach Wilson and you go to the Jets. You're Caleb Williams and you go to the Bears. So if Shedeur lands in New Orleans, I think Derek Carr getting his head kicked in for another year and Shedeur getting to watch and grow and develop and learn wouldn't be the worst thing for him. So I hate to say it this way, but you'll know what I mean when I say it. Like J.J. McCarthy being injured last year in Minnesota was probably a blessing. It's a great blessing for Sam Darnold as well, who is another illustration of this. A guy who went to the Jets and had to start right away, cratered with the Jets, went to Carolina, then went to San Francisco, landed at a good spot in Minnesota after getting to watch for a couple of years, and he was surrounded by Pro Bowl caliber talent, all pro talent like Justin Jefferson, and they win 14 games, man. So I think there is a great benefit to that scenario should it unfold. If the Saints take Sanders at 9, he sits and watches behind Carr for a year, you continue to get younger, more affordable, building your roster back, and then at some point, be it in 2026 or after that, then Shedeur Sanders takes the reins as your franchise quarterback. But it's an idea that I think if you haven't yet started to wrap your brain around and accept it as a very real possibility, you need to, because it's no longer just miscellaneous draft analyst putting out a mock draft or a fan running the mock draft predictor machine and spitting out a mock draft. Like, you have the odds makers now with the New Orleans Saints as the betting favorite to land Shedeur Sanders. It doesn't mean it's a lock, but it means it is a very real probability that Shedeur Sanders, while he'll switch his team name, he won't be switching team colors, because he could go from the black and gold of Colorado to the black and gold of the New Orleans Saints. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Hey, remember, over at Parrish Construction and Roofing, we're giving away 10 Gs. How about that? That's pretty cool, right? Super easy. There's no catch. There's no purchase required. All you got to do is go to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. You'll see right there on the homepage the big splash screen that'll pop up, $10,000 cash giveaway. All the deets are right there. All you have to do is sign up for a free no-obligation roofing inspection. We did this last month and gave away 5 Gs. It went so well, we said, hey, let's double the prize and do it again. So it's easy. All you got to do is sign up for a free no-obligation roofing inspection. You don't have to have a roof replacement. You don't have to hire us for anything. Just sign up for the inspection, and you're entered to win. All the deets are there at the website, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Roof repairs, replacements, commercial, residential. We do soft washing. We have our own gutter crew as well. Whatever you need, we got you. Parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing. Parishbuilt.com. All right, y'all. It's after further review. LSU football is back on the practice field. They were at spring break last week. They're getting back after it this week. I want to talk a little bit about the two coordinators who made a list today about potential future head coaches. Talk about that coming up here in about 30 minutes from right now. Let me knock out a quick break, come back, go around the SEC, and while the men's basketball program is rolling in the portal, Kim Mulkey just landed a really big, figuratively and literally, transfer on Monday. We'll get to that on AFR.
After further review.
AFR is brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouses.com, or you can get by any of the 70 Rouse's locations from Lake Charles to Orange Beach, Alabama, and points in between. Making groceries, Rouse's can help. Remember, always look for those Rouse's branded items. Love telling you about that because everything Rouse's brand, they do everything they can to source locally, and I love that about Rouse's. Also, right now, how about their steak kits that are ready for the grill? Have you ever seen this? It's awesome. It's 100% USDA Angus Choice beef. It's a ribeye steak kit. It's got ribeye. It's got bacon-wrapped asparagus or bacon-wrapped corn and a potato. Just $15.99. Simple. All you got to do is go, grab, throw it on the grill, and you are ready to roll. It's only at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Remember, they got their curbside pickup as well. So punch up the app, select your items. Your personal shopper will pick them out. You pull into the designated spot. They bring it right out to you. Rouse's. This feels like home.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
Okay, I want to come back to this, Alondra. Have we ever talked about this song, you and me?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I was kind of setting you up with this. But we can come back to it.
Okay. Let me do this. All right. I'm coming back to that. All right. You can turn it off, but have it ready to come back to it, okay? Congrats to Jay Clark, the LSU gymnast. They're back in the Elite Eight, so they're going to the third consecutive NCAA championships. If you're not familiar how it works, they'll compete in the Elite Eight, Should they advance in their half, they'd go to the Final Four, the four on the floor, which ultimately is the meet where a national champion will be crowned. So LSU went up, and amazingly, they do you have mine or yours? Okay. Amazingly, they didn't perform their best and still scored a 198. They scored a 198 in both regional rounds. That's the first time that they've ever done that in program history. Of course, they've advanced. I mean, they've advanced to the championships now 3 consecutive years. And this is their 15th regional championship. It was the first time they've ever scored a 198 in both rounds. So I know we've talked about this plenty, and their score was a 198.050, so they just cleared it. They edged past Michigan State, who was at a 198.00. Number 9, Kentucky, finished third, followed by Arkansas. This team, and admittedly, I know not everybody is like hook, line, and sinker in on watching the gymnastics program day in and day out, week in and week out. What I do know about this fan base, undeniably, is love a winner. When a program starts winning, people are in. I mean, they get 13,000 people to gym meets, and they won a national championship a year ago, and now you're just basically 2 meets away from going back to back. So much of gymnastics is, in my family over the last decade or so has become big gymnastics fans. We don't talk about it a ton here because I try to reflect your interest in everything as we go through. But when you get to this part of the season, there's definitely a lot of people interested. So much of winning a championship is capability. Like, is your score potential, your max score potential, good enough to win a national championship? And undeniably, this team is. Not only is there a degree of difficulty there, but the way that Jay Clark has identified strengths of this team, piggybacking, of course, Haley Bryan, Aaliyah Finnegan, your All-Americans. I mean, Haley's the greatest gymnast in the history of the program. And then you're bringing in young gymnasts. Kaylin Chio's been dynamic. She was the SEC Freshman of the Year, and justifiably so. She'll be an all-around champion before she leaves LSU. They're so exciting to see, man. Even though they went out and didn't perform their best, they still scored a 198, won their regional, and now advance. So it's going to be so much fun to watch this team try to go back-to-back. It is a little nerve-wracking from the sense that you do all of this work all throughout the course of the season. You're talented and veteran and young and capable and all those things, which are awesome, but you go and have one bad meet and your season's over. So that's sort of the nerve-wracking part of the way that this is formatted. But the semifinals will be on the 17th, so that's next Thursday. Michael Cobble just texted me, look at you doing gym stuff. Bro, like, I watch every gym meet. Like, I don't know if y'all do, like, I go home on Fridays when it's Friday Night Heights on SEC Network and SEC Network Plus, and we watch the gym meets every week. So I know a ton about the team. Candidly, Jay Clark has like a group that they call Pours for Scores. It's like a whiskey and wine group that they use as sort of like, you know, fundraiser for gymnastics. I've attended that, trying to help them raise money and funds for NIL. So yeah, I love the gymnastics program. I hope they do awesome. So the 17th, so a week from Thursday, the semis, should they be one of the 4 to advance, the 2 from their half, then that Saturday, the 19th, so a week from this coming Saturday, will be the national championship. Again, it'll be broadcast live on ABC at 3 in the afternoon. So get healthy, get it right, and get an opportunity to go win back-to-back. I mean, it's hard to imagine it would be anyone but LSU and Oklahoma. They faced off 3 times this year. LSU's beaten Oklahoma twice. Oklahoma beat LSU once. So Tigers have had the upper hand. It's really just a matter of go execute the way you can at your fullest potential in that stage, and you're going to win back-to-back national championships. We'll see if they can do it. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. You want to see 2020, call 924-2020. Or go to williamsoneye.com. That's williamsoneye.com. Dr. Blake Williamson, he's the best. Did my LASIK. Did Paul's LASIK. Could not recommend it highly enough. Maybe you're not interested in LASIK, which actually changes the shape of your eye. Evo ICL, the implantable contact lens, that's ICL, is an alternative to LASIK that's completely reversible. Point is, no matter your age or refractive issue, just go for that consultation, and you'll learn what options are available to you. I mean, you've heard me say it. Undeniably, there's people in your life who have had LASIK and tell you the same thing. Best decision I ever made. Wish I'd done it years before. Wish I hadn't waited. Best money I ever spent. You could be next. It's the Williamson Eye Center. Just go for that consultation. 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. That's Williamson, EYE.com. Hey, before we grab our final break here of hour number one, major hat tip attaboy to Terron Armstead, who on Saturday announced his retirement from the NFL, and did so on Monday, had a series of tweets and posts on X as well. But Terron Armstead, in my opinion, is going to go down as one of the greatest draft hits in New Orleans Saints history. This was a guy that was a third-round pick out of Arkansas Pine Bluff who set the combine ablaze because he ran the fastest 40 time ever for an offensive lineman at the combine when he ran a 4.71. So the Saints used a third-round pick on him, and that first year in New Orleans was kind of a feeling out process. I'll never forget because late in that season, the New Orleans Saints ended up playing a game at Carolina where it was like, all right, young gun. They took the handcuffs off, took the leash off, let him go, gave up a couple of sacks, but from that point on, like he was your left tackle, and he was your franchise left tackle, and he was that for 9 seasons. So spent 9 seasons with the Saints, became a team captain as well for 4 of those seasons in New Orleans. He's 33 years old. After his time in New Orleans in 2022, he ended up signing a 5-year, $75 million contract with the Dolphins. Spent 3 seasons as Miami's starting left tackle. Injuries did follow Armstead a little throughout his career, but was a 3-time team captain with Miami. He was a 2-time Pro Bowler with Miami, and this is a guy who just became an all-time draft hit. The likes of Marcus Colston, who was a 7th rounder you got out of Hofstra, that became your franchise, the greatest receiver in franchise history. Armstead, I'm not going to say is that level because Colston was so unconventional, being a 7th rounder who's a tight end at Hofstra, became your greatest receiver ever. But this is a guy who spent a decade as your franchise left tackle that you got out of Pine Bluff. And he was awesome, a great team guy as well. One of those ones that really signaled the end of an era whenever you let him walk in free agency, but you understand he signed a massive deal with Miami. And the Saints decided to go into the draft to get younger. Now, they missed on Penning as a left tackle, but they appear to have hit on Taliesin Fuanga. But congrats on an amazing career for Terron Armstead. And this is a guy who will undoubtedly be in the New Orleans Saints Hall of Fame just as soon as he is eligible. So congrats on a great career for Terron Armstead, a guy that should have won a Super Bowl in New Orleans in 2018, victimized by the Nolan no call, but a great cornerstone piece of that great era of Saints football from 2017 through 2020, and really 2021, I guess, the final year for Peyton. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Final break of hour number one. We'll wrap up hour number one next.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. We say it every day that if you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for more than 30 years. But think about that when you actually really let it marinate. I mean, a lot of people know Gordon because of the billboards and the TV ads and standing on the big truck and all that. I think what people have come to know as well is Gordon the person for all the philanthropy that he's done, not only through NIL with the opportunities given student athletes to the G team, but like we love to highlight here, the bicycle giveaway around Christmas or the laptop giveaway at the start of the school year in graduation time. And yes, Gordon is all of those things. But Gordon and his team of attorneys have collected more than $3 billion in damages for their clients. They've helped 75,000 people. Who else would you call? If you've been injured in an accident, do what injured people in our state have done for 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you. Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
Kim Mulkey also doing work in the transfer portal. You probably saw this on Monday morning if you're plugged in. We got the story up at LouisianaSports.net. But Notre Dame transfer Kate Koval not only is committed, but now is also signed with LSU. It is official. She is a 6'5" center who's a 5-star prospect, a top 10 prospect overall in the country in this most recent signing class. Just finished her freshman season at Notre Dame. Started just 10 games for the Irish, but it was very clear that LSU was going to need size and need a more dominant big, not only because you lacked that this year, but also because Anissa Mora, who played way bigger than her frame, and her 18 points and 13 rebounds per game. She averaged a double-double, my God. Are now off to the WNBA, where she's a projected lottery pick. So you needed size, you got it. And there was a very obvious question about, okay, what happens with Aaliyah Del Rosario, who herself was a very highly sought-after recruit, just finished her second season in Baton Rouge, and it never really worked out for her. Well, this just minutes ago, we learned Aaliyah Del Rosario has also entered the transfer portal. So Aaliyah Del Rosario, after 2 seasons in Baton Rouge, who's 6'6" in her own right, she was a 5-star coming out of Tennessee, and it just didn't work out. She played in 65 games over 2 seasons, but only started 1 time, averaged just 3.5 points, 2.9 rebounds per game. She does have 2 years of eligibility remaining for her college basketball career. So Kate Koval from Notre Dame in, Aaliyah Del Rosario out with the women's basketball program. Well, there's tons of LSU men's basketball news from the weekend as well I want to talk about. We'll get to that here in about a little more than 20 minutes from right now, because Matt McMahon landed another major transfer, and a lot of people have been asking me sort of the financial component of all of this and how the money LSU's investing in the men's basketball program here in the transfer portal, if that does in fact affect football or other sports. We'll get to all that again here in about 20 minutes from right now. Hey, we're brought to you by Supper Club, supperclubbtr.com. They're closed today. Remember, Supper Club's closed on Monday, so they're open Tuesday to Saturday, closed Sunday, Monday. But this is a great opportunity for me to remind you here on April the 7th, if you have a high school graduate, if you have a college graduate coming up next month, and you're planning their graduation dinner, their graduation party, y'all, book today. Like, let today be the day you say, all right, I'm going to stop talking about it, I'm going to do it. Because the worst thing that could happen is you wait and you wait and you wait. You're 2 weeks out from graduation. Oh, let's see if we can book reservations at Supper Club. Like, they're going to be booked. So book now. Supperclubbtr.com. Supperclubbtr.com. Supper Club's awesome, y'all. No matter what you're celebrating, that is the place to celebrate. And, man, the menu is absolutely outstanding. Try the Japanese herb beef that you'll only find at 2 restaurants in the entire United States of America. One of them's in New York. The other Supper Club on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge. You can find those one-of-a-kind type experiences at Supper Club. Check it out, y'all. Supperclubbtr.com. Book your reservation. Get those graduation parties booked. Do it now. Supperclubbtr.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Putting a button here on hour number 1, presented by Relief Windows. SportsCenter's coming up. We get you caught up on national headlines. And when we come back, LSU's 2 coordinators. How close are they to becoming head coaches? We'll knock that around when we come back on AFR.
AFR. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team color, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. The men's college basketball season all comes down to this. Houston versus Florida in the national championship game tonight. Gators seeking their first title since winning the second of back-to-back championships in 2007. Cougars trying to win the first national title in program history. Houston is a 1.5 underdog tonight per ESPN bet. ESPN college basketball reporter Myron Metcalf.
I don't think you can pull away from Houston. I don't think they'll let you do it. So they're the number one defense in America for a reason. And even if you're really good, like Florida is, it's just hard to, continue to play at the pace you're accustomed to. But I think that'll be a big factor in the game. Florida likes to get out in transition. They got a lot of big bodies who can run. Houston's going to try to prevent that.
Myron Metcalf on Clinton and Friends. Connecticut finished off its season at number 1 in the AP Women's College Basketball poll a day after winning its 12th national championship. Auburn freshman Tahad Pettiford told ESPN he'll declare for the upcoming NBA draft while maintaining his college eligibility. He's the number 39 prospect in ESPN's draft rankings.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Tuesday as the season winds down, the Denver Nuggets are struggling to find answers. So is it time to panic for Jokic and the crew? It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's rock! Go!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Londra de la Ria. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. David Dellucci, 1 hour from right now. I want to talk a little bit about LSU's basketball transfer portal class in about 15 minutes. Not only that, but you probably heard the news earlier today. Former Tiger great Ronald Dupree is joining LSU basketball as its new general manager. I think it's a huge win for the LSU basketball program in the macro. We're going to get to that here in about 15 minutes from right now. A lot to do. Hope you had an awesome weekend. Thanks for being with us. We opened the whole show today talking about LSU sweeping Oklahoma. If you missed our thoughts on the series, you can catch that AFR On Demand presented by Brett Golf, wherever you get podcasts, YouTube. Just search AFR LSU. You'll get all of our content right there. ESPN.com has a list of the top assistant coaches and coordinators that could become head coaches. And they list 22 of them. Like, for example, the high-level ones that are pretty obvious are like Glenn Schumann from Georgia, who's their defensive coordinator. Andy Kotelnicki from Penn State, their offensive coordinator. Marcus Arroyo from Arizona State. Garrett Riley at Clemson. Some of the ones that are pretty obvious, the high-level ones. They mentioned a few splashy first-year guys and other names to watch. And on the other names to watch is where you kind of get an LSU twofer. They mentioned both LSU offensive coordinator Joe Sloan and defensive coordinator Blake Baker, highlighting the fact that Sloan, who's 38 years old, coached Heisman Trophy-winning quarterback Jaden Daniels and now 4,000-yard passer Garrett Nussmeier. Although it is worth mentioning, Sloan was not. Sometimes, like, we're guilty of revisionist history. Sloan was not the OC in Daniels' Heisman year. That was Mike Denbrock. But Sloan was the quarterback's coach. And I do give Sloan credit for that development, for Jaden's development. Undeniably, he had him for 2 years in Baton Rouge and helped Jaden come out of some of the bad habits and made him a more accurate passer, which stunningly was actually one of the criticisms at one point of Jaden Daniels. But tons of credit to Sloan for developing Daniels, and obviously last year LSU was top 10 in the country in passing offense under Nussmeier, who threw for 4,000 yards. I think Joe gets a ton of credit for all that. Baker is a little bit older. He's 42 years old. A little bit older than Sloan, who's 38. But the real question for Blake is he goes to Missouri, very quickly turns around Missouri's defense, comes to LSU. They were better last year, but not great. But if you have the big kaboom this year under Blake Baker, it could be his time. So all that to say, it's a fact. This isn't my opinion. And I mean, you understand, like you watch sports and probably college football just by the nature of the fact that you're listening to or watching the show, you get this. Like, successful programs have assistants poached. That's just part of the thing. When you're good, other programs try to get a piece of what made you good and successful. So successful programs have their assistants poached. And you want that. You want your assistants taken away because that is a symptom or a symbol of a successful program. Because if nobody wanted your assistant coaches, they ain't good and you ain't good. You never see the offensive coordinator from a 3-9 team get plucked away. Look at Nick Saban, McElwain, Kirby, Lane, Sark, Pruitt, Napier, Jimbo, Muschamp. You go down the list. I mean, it happened to him every year. He had assistants plucked away because people wanted a little piece of whatever made that thing awesome. Well, and one thing Nick was great at was finding the next guy. And I believe that Brian Kelly has shown throughout his career the ability to do the same. So I don't fear the possible turnover on his staff if it happens. Remember, at Notre Dame, Brian Kelly hired Bob Diaco as his defensive coordinator, who did such a good job, he became the head coach at UConn. He hired Clark Lee, who did such a good job, he became the head coach at Vanderbilt. He hired Mike Elko, who did such a good job, he became the head coach at Duke, and now is the head coach at Texas A&M. He hired Marcus Freeman, who's now the head coach at Notre Dame. Like, Kelly hit, there's one miss. It was Brian Van Gorder. And Brian Van Gorder was an NFL defensive coordinator in Atlanta. It's the one thing that didn't really work. And to his credit, Kelly's credit, he very quickly moved him out and found a replacement. I would go so far as to say, as much as we talk about Ed Ogeron and after they won it in 2019, maybe him getting a little lackadaisical in his public or personal life, like there's plenty of coaches who live wild and free in their personal lives. I think what cost Ed Ogeron was his inability to hire good assistant coaches. He inherited a ton of good assistants from Les Miles. Ed Ogeron inherited Dave Aranda. He inherited Steve Ensminger. He inherited Corey Raymond. Les was great at hiring good assistant coaches. He just couldn't let go of the wheel offensively. When Ed started losing those assistants and had to hire new ones, when Dave Aranda left, he hired Bo Pelini and then Durante Jones. Miss. He hired Jake Peets as his offensive coordinator. Giant miss. Like when Ensminger retired. Like, that's what undid Ed Ogeron, was his inability to identify and hire good coaches. Specifically with Blake Baker and Joe Sloan, by the way, I think both are going to get head coaching jobs sooner than later, and I think both are going to be really good head coaches because they have the makeup. Both of them have the makeup to be really good head coaches. And the Blake Baker Tulane chatter this past offseason was very real. There was mutual interest from Blake Baker and from Tulane in making that happen to get Blake down to New Orleans. And I wouldn't have blamed him if he would have taken that job. But a lot of times, circumstances prevent jobs from happening or things from getting done. It's a lot of times there's intention on both sides, but a deal just isn't there to be done. Timing matters so much in life and everything, and certainly is the case in things like this. But I do believe Blake Baker is going to be a head coach. And honestly, if LSU goes and has a great year defensively this year and becomes a playoff team, Blake Baker's star rises dramatically. And instead of looking at a job like Tulane, he's looking at a Power 5 job. I mean, I'll give you the example of Dave Aranda, which is one I always use, where it's like you shouldn't be in a hurry to take any job. You should take the right job. Like, Dave Aranda was locked in going to accept the UNLV job after the 2019 season. And there was a lot of family considerations. His family didn't, his wife, his family, his children didn't want to leave. But he had verbally accepted that UNLV job. And then it fell apart because his family wanted to stay. And so he stayed. And then a few weeks later, Baylor came calling. And instead of going out to take a bad Mountain West job, he ends up with a job in the Big 12. And in his second year, he wins the league. I mean, it's just a much better job that he got. And sometimes it pays to wait for the right job. And so I'm not saying Tulane's a bad job, but I think there's a better job available for Blake Baker that will probably manifest this year if the defense goes and performs well. And I would say the same thing for Sloan, that the time might be after the season. I'm not pushing either of these guys out the door. I hope they stay at LSU forever. I just don't think it's realistic. But Sloan's 38. He just finished his first season as offensive coordinator where they were very successful. And now you look at what you have coming back in a fifth-year senior, Garrett Nussmeier, a second-year starter who spent the last 4 years all with Joe Sloan. You've got Aaron Anderson and Chris Hilton and Xavion Thomas and Caden Durham all coming back. And you're bringing in Nick Anderson from Oklahoma and Barrion Brown from Kentucky. You have all this talent coming in as well as Bauer Sharp. It's going to be an absolute embarrassment of riches offensively. And so if you match or exceed what you did a year ago, now you have a growing sample size, and there's going to be a school that's going to come knocking and is going to hire Joe Sloan away. Let me remind you also that not only is he a proven quarterbacks coach, he's a proven play caller, but he's also a fantastic recruiter. Remember, he is the guy that had Bryce Underwood on the hook. Like, Joe Sloan is the one that built and developed and cultivated that relationship for 3 years, but is the one that had Bryce Underwood committed for a year. Like, he's the guy that basically took up residency in Michigan recruiting Bryce Underwood. Like, that was him. Listen to all the recruits we have on talk about Joe Sloan, and they'll tell you, they rave about him. So he checks so many boxes as a guy that understands quarterbacks and coach quarterbacks, a great recruiter, has been now at a high level. Like, this makes a lot of sense that both these guys are on this list of, assistants primed to be head coaches. And if LSU has the team success this year that many of us think they will, I think it's a real possibility both of these guys are gone. And that's why 25, if it goes the way we think it will or could or should, LSU could not only be replacing much of its roster. Nuss is a senior. You look at all the transfers you brought in that are going to be one-and-done type players. Chris Hilton, Aaron Anderson, Xavion Thomas, like all these guys are going to be out the door after 2025. You're not only going to be replacing a ton of your roster, you could very well be replacing both coordinators as well for 2026, which is why 2025 is such a must, like all-in year for LSU football to get into the playoff and get back into championship contention in 2025, because it is very fair to look and say 2026, you probably expect a regression. And how long does it take to build back up to championship level after that? All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Our Monday shows, as always, are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, door, siding. Oh, yeah, they do shutters as well. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Let me knock out our first break, y'all. If you want to join us, email us, tweet us, text 225-396-4400, 396-4400. You can weigh in on anything throughout the course of the show. David Dellucci in 47 minutes from right now. When we come back, though, I do want to jump in to the LSU basketball transfer portal class because they added another major prospect on Sunday. They hired Ronald Dupree as the general manager on Monday. There's a lot I want to delve into about what they've done, what they still have to do, and if they're actually a legitimate contender now. That's all coming up next on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark Hotel and the Renaissance Hotel. Watermark downtown, the Renaissance Southtown. Of course, Watermark is Baton Rouge's premier hotel property. Voted by you the best hotel in the best of 225. It is pristine. If you've never been to the Watermark, make your way into downtown Baton Rouge. Next time you're downtown, or make a point to go downtown, just so you can experience the Watermark. It's a true gem in Baton Rouge. It's a piece of Baton Rouge's history, the original high-rise building, the old Louisiana National Bank building, but with all the modern amenities. The Gregory, which is a fantastic dining experience right there in the lobby of the Watermark. The Watermark Bar, which is an amazing spot just to sit there and grab a glass of wine or a cocktail and people watch. They're the vaults. If you go down that marble staircase in the lobby, all the old bank vaults have been hollowed out. They've added seating to have board meetings or private dining. What an incredible experience. You're looking for an experience? You got to experience Watermark Baton Rouge. You can book today at Watermark Baton Rouge.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
So there's a picture on Alondra's Twitter of her and Taylor Sharp. Half the OTB crew takes on Nickelback. That's the caption there. The first comment. Look at this photograph.
That should have been the caption, and I didn't think of it until somebody commented it.
Photograph.
So I was telling you he's very likable, right?
Every time I do it makes me laugh.
There's
her eyes get so red.
Before there was
Potatoes
TikTok.
on Jimmy's head. Sorry, go ahead.
No, but really, what is on Jimmy's head?
I don't. That's a good
Before
question.
there was TikTok, there was Vine.
Yes.
And there's a Vine where they had like edited, and they were like, "Look at this graph," and it was a picture of. It was Chad Kroger holding up a picture of a graph. It was just like a stupid meme. But he was like, "You probably know this song from Look at This Graph," and I was like, "You know the meme."
That a boy.
Telling you.
Did they play? So this song is a song called "Leader of Men."
Yes.
Not a mega popular hit, but it's an early Nickelback song before they sold out, and this is a certified banger. Did they play "Leader of Men"?
No. They did not play Leader of Men.
See, I'm almost glad I didn't go.
Yeah.
Because I would have been massively disappointed.
They played all the other hits.
I get it, because Nickelback is at a point in their career where if you're going to do the... oh, there it goes. There's one it hits. If you're going to go do the like the festival tour where you're doing 60, 90-minute sets, it's like, get up there and just play everything everybody knows.
Yeah.
Crank that up, crank that up, crank that up, crank that up. For those that don't know this song.
It's a good one.
It's in drop D tuning. I can play it on guitar. Love playing this one. Hard to sing, actually, but... Anyway, this is my thing with Nickelback. So, respect, totally. They have an amazing career. And you can turn it a little louder. Nickelback is one of the quintessential examples of an era of rock music where bands became, they rose to superstardom on the backs of their first album. And the labels wanted them very quickly to capitalize on that success by then releasing another album very quickly. So, like, you may have your manifesto, your life's work that you took a decade to write and perfect and rewrite and everything.
Yeah.
And you release it, you have tremendous commercial success. In the example of Nickelback, because of how you remind me, they had crossover success to pop culture.
Yeah.
And so then they had a decision to make. Do we release crappy pop rock songs like Photograph and Rockstar, which is literally a song about selling out?
Yeah.
Like, I'll cut my hair and change my name. Like, you want to be a rock star? This is what you got to do. And they did. And God bless them. Creed did the same thing. But
love Creed too.
Early Creed, early Nickelback, like Leader of Men, certified bangers.
Yeah.
I mean, their early stuff was awesome. Sugar Ray. Have you ever listened to Sugar Ray, Mark McGrath?
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to his first album?
I don't think so.
You will be. So that's the album where Fly, became popular. Fly sounds nothing like anything else on the album.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like a hard rock guy. That song had commercial success, and then he became like having money with a... It's like, what happened to you, Mark McGrath? But respect, dude. They got super rich. I would do the same thing, man. Like, someone wanted me... Like, Alondra, if tomorrow someone came and said, Scone, you're not going to talk about LSU sports anymore. You're going to do a show on Teletubbies.
Yeah.
And you're going to be mega rich. Deuces.
Yeah.
It's now the Paul O'Neill show. It's After Further Review with Paul O'Neill.
You're going to get Paul to do it?
That's it. I don't care who does it. It's going to be After Further Review with Paul O'Neill. I'm out.
Fair.
I'm out like the fat kid in dodgeball. Y'all never have to hear from me again. You know what I mean?
They do always go for him first in dodgeball.
Wouldn't you? Got to get him out of the way.
You got to get the weakest link out.
Got to get him out.
I agree.
Clear the deck. The good players in the back are just using him as a shield. Get him out of there.
That's fair.
Take away the shield. Now what you got?
Nothing.
I know. That's how it goes. So what was the your favorite part of the show?
So I don't know why, but Far Away is like my favorite Nickelback song.
It's another crappy pop song.
It's a great song.
It's so bad.
Sometimes I'm like, man, I feel that.
Far away.
So he did that
Did
song.
they have
I
a little
like that.
echo on the far away part?
Yeah, so he had two different microphones.
Oh.
And one of them was like, it had like the vocal effect on it, and he was switching back and forth. It was super cool. I'm telling you, it was a great show.
No doubt.
It was
Sounds
a
like
great show.
I would have gone.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't at the Livingston Parish Fairgrounds,
Don't get me started.
outside on a Friday night when LSU was playing baseball,
Yeah.
when
I had it on my phone.
my back was in a debilitated state.
Yeah.
My wife was at the St. Jude Fair, so I was a single dad as well this weekend. Like, well, if it weren't for all those things, I would have gone.
It seems like you wouldn't have gone.
No, I would have gone.
Yeah.
Like if it was inside.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't going to happen.
Even not that. Like, I could go. I could do an outdoor. Like, I told you, like, May 3rd.
Jazz Fest?
I'm a Jazz.
Pearl Jam?
Alondra and I hung
Foo
out last year
Fighters?
for Foo Fighters. There was a big group of us together. We totally crashed Michelle Southern's
We did.
spot. And then as soon as Foo Fighters went on stage, I was like, bleep this. Let's go, Alondra.
Yeah.
Come on. And so me and Alondra went like to the front. We were like front left of the stage.
Yeah.
I mean, we just fought our way through like massive humanity.
We hopped a like a little barricade.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
I don't remember
It was
that.
there, yeah.
I'm not doubting that I did
No,
that.
we
That's
definitely did.
Definitely on brand.
Yeah.
How close
we wanted
did we
to
get?
be in the front.
How close did we get?
And they were back there, and I was like, I want to see Dave.
We were there.
Yeah.
So
we got to do it again for Eddie.
Pearl Jam on May 3rd. I'll be there. So fired up.
I think
haven't
Santana's the next day.
I'm not going back. I haven't seen. I can only do one day at Jazz Fest.
No, same. I'm not going to go see Santana, but I would love to.
Is he still putting out music?
I don't know. I don't think so. I just love his old stuff.
Another very smart guy.
Black Magic Woman.
See, but that's a guy who did a very smart thing. He pivoted in his career and started and started blending his guitar stylings with very popular vocalists and did an entire album, like the Rob Thomas Smooth song blew up, but that whole album, the song with Dave Matthews, like he did a whole album just with super popular. It's almost like influencers that piggyback other people. Like I'm starting a podcast, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go invite all the top people to come on my show so I can just piggyback their success. Like that's what Santana did, but he was super awesome in his own right. And that is today's episode of Coffee and Flannel with Matt and Alondra here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. You should listen.
You can tune into it.
You should listen to Coffee and Flannel with Alondra Villarreal every Sunday morning on Eagle 98.1. But, I do have to say, Alondra, one thing I don't dig about Coffee and Flannel.
I already know.
What?
That it's coffee and flannel. It goes into the afternoon.
Goes in the afternoon.
You've never had a coffee in the afternoon, like a little afternoon pick-me-up?
Of course I have, but the concept is it's a Sunday morning show. Well, it goes like 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Isn't
That's
it
only
till
2 hours after morning.
But it's Alondra. Nobody, like by this time, people
what
are
do I
they're
do?
in
Switch
church,
it in the middle of the day?
They're having Sunday lunch, a brunch, and you're like, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. By this point, you're day drinking beers on Sunday. It's crawfish and beer.
Or an espresso martini.
That's what you could do.
That's coffee.
Did we just blow out this whole segment?
I think we did.
See, I knew that was going to happen.
It's okay.
Which is why I told you, come back to it.
Yeah.
So if you're just joining us, it's 4:26 in the afternoon.
Moose is
gone. Well, no, he's just starting. No, he's just
6 minutes deep.
He's just getting into a little bit of a vibe right now, All right, so it's after further review. Musso had a couple days off, so Alondra's hanging out. I do have a ton I want to get to. I do want to talk about the basketball portal class, but very quickly, Alondra, please read the promo for the giveaway, the Tiger Stadium Bayou Traditions Gala promo. I know you have the copy over there, please.
For Louisiana Saturday night.
That's it.
Join LSU Athletics and the Tiger Athletic Foundation for Bayou Traditions' second annual gala, a Louisiana Saturday night featuring Jordan Davis on the field in Tiger Stadium Saturday, May 3rd. We're giving you on-field access. Register to win a spot at our table at 1045ESPN.com. Support LSU student athletes, NIL opportunities, and reserve your table at lsutaf.org/events.
Okay, so talked about this last week. I happen to believe this is one of the coolest giveaways we've ever done. And I learned last week that we only had, so like all of our radio stations are doing this. Eagle 98.1, 100.7 The Tiger, Talk 107.3, and us at 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. By the way, if you're listening on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles, Alexandria's 94.7 ESPN. If you're watching on YouTube, this is open to anybody, all right? You don't have to be in Baton Rouge. So you're all welcome. It's just a promo that we're running through Guarantee Media here in Baton Rouge. This is the big NIL gala. Last year was at the indoor facility for the football stadium, the indoor football facility. This year they're doing in Tiger Stadium, on the field. In Tiger Stadium. Not the South Stadium Club is an awesome place to go to events. I think most people have probably been up there for an event now. But this is on the field. All the coaches will be there. Not just like Brian Kelly and football staff, but like all the program's coaches, athletic administrators, former players, boosters, like everybody. A who's who, see and be seen type thing. On the field, booze, food. Jordan Davis is playing. And I think after Jordan Davis, I want to say it's PCL, Paris Carolina is playing after. Does that sound right?
I don't know if it's after or before, but yes, it's PCL.
Okay. Anyway, we are giving away 2 seats at the 104.5 ESPN table. So you can win a pair of seats to this for total free to go to this Bayou Traditions Gala. So go sign up. It'll take 30 seconds. You put in your email address and you're done. You can pull this up, Paulie. So I got to find out the page that it's linked on LouisianaSports.net, but it is on the contest page at 1045ESPN.com. Alondra, can you please take this link and share it on all of the ESPN socials right now so people can enter? Because honestly, I'm a little devastated that like Jimmy told me Tiger's got like 500 entries for the seats at the Tiger table. And I'm like, that's awesome. And I'm fired up for him. But I'm like, how in the world does the sports station have like 26 people that registered? Well, it's because the link is gone. It's hidden. Like you can't find the link at LouisianaSports.net. It's only under the contest page on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. We got blasted out there. What are you doing?
I'm grabbing the graphic right now.
Oh, do you have the link?
Yeah.
Well, here, I don't. You know, you don't have this link because Michelle made this link for LSN.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna grab it from the website.
but it's not on LSN. That's what I'm saying. It's LouisianaSports.net, by the way. It's on 104.5 ESPN. So let me link you to the one from LouisianaSports.net, okay?
Okay.
All right, I just forwarded it to you. Please share that, and let's blow this thing up. Got it?
I got it.
All right. Like the 26 people that entered were like, hey, man, shut up. Stop telling people.
I'm trying to get that table.
Seriously. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out. Let me knock out a quick break. We come back then. I promise when we come back, I want to talk a little LSU basketball transfer portal, who they've landed, what they still have to do. Are they a contender? How the money's working, all that stuff. We'll get into it next on AFR.
AFR.
If you're thinking of buying land, chances are you already own land. So you know what I'm about to tell you, but I'm going to repeat it anyway. Most people that buy land already own land. So maybe what you could do is take the equity in the land you currently own and use that to buy more land. First South Farm Credit can help you do that. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Let's be honest, y'all. Land is a finite resource. God ain't making no more of it. What's here is what's here. As a matter of fact, probably losing more of it, right? So if you're thinking of buying land, maybe, of course, if you're a farmer, if you're in agriculture, you know First South Farm Credit's been first in agriculture since 1916. Maybe it's your recreational property. You want to build that hunting camp. Maybe it's 20 acres in Clinton or St. Francisville or Zachary or the North Shore to build your family's dream home. First South Farm Credit can make that a reality. So your first call should be to First South Farm Credit.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank & Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
My goodness, Matt McMahon and the basketball Tigers are riding an absolute heater. It's amazing what bags full of cash can do. One of the funniest things that I hear, last week when Blaine Bradford committed to Ohio State, there were LSU fans like, man, he just took the money. Yeah! Everybody's taking the money. What are you talking about? LSU just signed the best transfer portal class in the country. You think people just came and just swarmed to Baton Rouge because they love gumbo? What are we talking about? Hell yeah, he wants the money. Everybody wants the money. The LSU basketball program has nothing to offer. I'm going to call it like it is. Like, you know when you talk about your crazy uncle? Like, I can talk about my crazy uncle because he's my uncle. If you talk about my crazy uncle, we going to fight? That's what this is like. I can say LSU basketball has nothing to offer. If someone from the outside comes in and starts taking shots, we go fight. Not literally fight, but you know what I'm saying. Yo, LSU was 3-15 in the SEC. They were awful. You have very little historically to hang your hat on. Amazingly, you've had these like meteoric spikes like Bob Pettit, top 50 all-time player in basketball. Pete Maravich, greatest scorer in the history of college basketball. Shaq, like, boo, boo, boo. Like, you could put LSU's all-time starting five against anybody's, but everything in between is just historically awful. Dale Brown got to the tournament 13 straight years. You've had some nice moments. John Brady made a Final Four run. That team was so much fun to watch. You got to the tournament with Brandon Bass a couple times. You had the Sweet 16 team with Strohmeyer. But, like, you know, Marcus Thornton, you won the league under Trent Johnson when Marcus Thornton was SEC Player of the Year. Like, you've had some moments. But you have not had a foundational success. And you just don't have buy-in from your fan base. It's elation or apathy and nothing in between with LSU basketball. So, like, yeah, you have a bunch of dudes right now going in the portal who are being offered bags of cash to come play for a team that was 3-15, plays in arguably the worst physical venue in the SEC, for a team with a coach that a lot of fans wanted run out of here after this season, and they're just coming on down in droves. Why? Because you've got bags of cash you're handing to them. And so they're taking it. And good for them. And this might be to LSU's benefit as well. So the latest is Markel Sutton, who committed to LSU and signed over the weekend. He was the Summit League Player of the Year. We talked about Markel Sutton last week, coming from Omaha. He made a visit to LSU. He was in with some other big-time programs as well. Nebraska was heavily recruiting him. Ultimately, he picks LSU. 6'9", 225. Love everything about him. The dude started 99 collegiate games, and he's a winner. He was the Summit League Player of the Year for a team that won its regular season and tournament championship and made an NCAA tournament appearance. They lost to St. John's. He checks a ton of boxes of what you don't presently have on your roster. I love adding Markel Sutton. This is a fantastic addition. And when you look at the way that Matt McMahon is building this roster through the transfer portal, it's very easy to see what he's doing. He's getting everything because you have nothing. You've seen already a half dozen players enter the portal. That's in addition to the guys that are out of eligibility. You've got 3 players returning. 3. You've got Givens, Robert Miller, Jalen Reed. That's it. Those are the only 3 scholarship players that are back. You've now added 5 players via the portal, and then you've got 3 freshmen coming in. By the way, as I understand, they're probably looking to add 1 more via the portal. And it's probably going to be a 2-guard or small forward, someone who can give you some scoring and some depth off the bench out on the wing, on the perimeter. Like, they're probably looking to add 1 more if it's the right fit. But you can see what they're doing. They go get DJ Thomas, top 10 overall player in the portal. There's your point guard. You've added Sutton, who we just talked about, and Mike Nwoko from Mississippi State, a 6'10", 245-pound big that was an every-game starter for a tournament team out of the SEC this year in Mississippi State. So you got a dude that's proven that he can compete at this level on the block, And now you're adding a guy like Sutton, who's going to look to take a dramatic step up in competition. You went and got Max McKinnon, who was a sharpshooter at Portland. And you've added Rashad King as well from Northeastern. Slasher, can get to the bucket and create his own shot. All 5 guys that you have signed have all very different skill sets that check every box, in addition to the 3 players you're bringing in and the 3 players you're bringing back. So, there's a couple of things here. Number one, there's a very real question of how many more are you looking to add? Because remember, next year, teams can offer 15 scholarships. The scholarship limit goes up. And it's also an equivalency sport, so you can offer partials if you want. So, but you can offer 15. It's my understanding that the consensus, not just at LSU, but just around the SEC, is that 15 scholarships is not the best way to go about using your revenue share money. Because remember, you're capped on rev share. So whatever percentage of the rev share, the $20.5 million, is designated earmarked for basketball, that's your basketball nut. And you got to divide it up among your scholarship players. The more players you add, the smaller piece of pie everybody gets. So if you're going to add someone, it's got to make sense. And I think most are thinking the best, most effective, efficient use of your NIL or your rev share funds is probably 11 to 13. Low number 11, high number 13. I don't know that you're going to see teams get to 15. That's number one. So, again, you're probably looking to add one more because as it stands now, you got 5 players in the portal, 3 returning, and 3 freshmen coming in. That's 11. One more would put him at 12 if they find the right person. As I understand, that's going to be probably a 2 or a 3. One thing that I've been asked, and I actually just got a text into the show text line from a guy named Brett, who said, speaking of men's basketball in the portal, does LSU in general like basketball? We support a winner, but is the NIL cost of building a winner worth it? Says basketball and NIL space seems expensive. This is an important note. It's a good question. It's a very good question. Because I've been asked a lot, hey, is it worth investing this money in basketball? Because are you doing this, are you taking away from football or baseball or other sports that need it? And the answer flatly is no, you're not. I don't want to have like too high level of a convo that sails over people's heads. And I don't mean that as to be insulting. It's just there's a lot of layers to the conversation. And I've been very interested in this for 5 years. Not a lot of people are. But ultimately, just understand that LSU in the last 6 to 8 months has dramatically ramped up its fundraising such that they were able to fund the best transfer portal class in football and have enough of a surplus in addition to the rev share numbers to fund a great basketball roster. Now, here's the caveat. This is what's going to be interesting. I've been very transparent with numbers when I have them. Last year, the top of the league was spending around $8 million. LSU was sub 2. The middle of the league was in the $5 million range. LSU's not going to spend at the top of the league, but the thought was, look, we can be competitive in the middle of the league. And if you get the right guys, maybe you get a Janai Broome who comes in from Morehead State and becomes a National Player of the Year candidate, right? Maybe that's Markel Sutton. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it isn't, but you take your shot. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. We'll see. But the point is, because it's a moment in time where, we talked about this with football, where all of these teams are front-loading NIL deals because when the House settlement goes into effect, and come this summer, when rev share is in effect, you can no longer do NIL deals as they're presently done through collectives. Like, collectives can't just say, here, sign in an autograph, and here's $500K. Everything will have to go through the clearinghouse. So any NIL deal over $600 has to go through the clearinghouse. A clearinghouse with Deloitte isn't going to approve $1 million NIL deal where someone makes like 2 appearances. It's just not going to happen. It's got to be market value as determined by that clearinghouse. So what you have right now is collectives that have been raising money for 4 years, sitting on mountains of cash that come July 1, may not be able to spend it anymore. So what are they doing? They're dumping it right now. And they're structuring deals to where, hey, look, this is a multi-year, however you may say it, but we're front-loading the deal now because we have the cash now. So that benefited LSU football, and right now that's benefiting LSU basketball, but what's happened is the market's gone up. Some of the conversations I had last week and this weekend that the top of the league, the top of the SEC next year in basketball, are looking to spend $10 to $12 million. Like Kentucky is going to be in the $10 to $12 million range. Like LSU ain't going to touch that. I think they came in to this portal cycle thinking spending the $5 million range, and they're very quickly realizing you're going to have to spend more. How much more? I don't know. If I ever hear that number, I'll tell it to you. But I'm very candidly telling you, I don't know that number. Like, I don't know how much LSU is going to spend on this class. What I will tell you is they're spending more than they intended to. But that is not going to be to the detriment of LSU football or baseball or other sports. It's money they had earmarked and ready to go to help make a contender in basketball. And the weird thing, like this odd sort of juxtaposition is I guess it's actually this sort of dramatic irony, too, where the thing that contributes to you losing is ultimately what's going to help you win. Meaning, like, seeing Bryce Underwood flip created such a visceral reaction among LSU's benefactors that the members of the collective and fundraisers were able to say, you see, like, this is what they are capable of and we are not. And it stirred this reaction, and they were able to fundraise. LSU basketball being terrible this year stirred a reaction to say, if you want to be good, we have to go spend more than $1.2 million. Do you want to be good? And a lot of benefactors have stepped up and said, yes, we do. And so they've dumped money into the collective, and God bless those people for their willingness to do it. Now you have to go hit on those players. That's the key. And we'll see if they do. And if Matt McMahon can coach him up, and that's ultimately going to determine his job security for next year and beyond. But the success that LSU is having right now in the basketball portal is not coming at the expense of any other program. The real question is, they're getting all these guys. Will they hit on all these guys? Will the ones they've chosen and that they're spending on actually translate from mid-major to the best basketball conference in the country? Are you going to have that level of success identifying these mid-majors that are taking the next step up in competition? Can Matt McMahon get them all to blend together and make beautiful music in 1 year and get back to the tournament? Because I'm going to tell you right now, you go spend what LSU spending on this basketball roster, the baseline expectation for next season, baseline, is you better hear your name called on Selection Sunday. If that doesn't happen, then Matt McMahon ain't the guy, and he's going to have to go. I think he knows it, and I think everyone associated with this program knows it. But what they've done so far is mightily impressive. And they ain't doing it because the sauce pecan at Chimes is awesome. By the way, I do love the duck and sausage gumbo at Chimes. It's fantastic. But ain't none of these kids committing because of that. They're committing because they're getting money. So before you criticize any other school ever for landing a player because they busted out the checkbook, y'all doing the same thing. And everybody that's winning is doing the same thing. Because it's what you have to do to be able to win now. All right, we'll do Tigers and the Pros next.
After further review.
Brought to you by Glow Resources, GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions at Glow Resources. Hey, their new ad that's out right now, it's hilarious if you haven't seen it. They're the goat of staffing, so they actually have like a goat that goes skydiving. It's on all their social media. Go check it out. I tell you all the time, like, they are fun. They take what they do very seriously. They don't take themselves very seriously. It is a mindset, an attitude, a culture that you recognize literally the minute you walk through the doors of their gorgeous headquarters on Perkins Road right near Pennington. I mean, they did a gut renovation of that building, a 3-story building, and they absolutely nailed it. So much fun to go into the Glow offices. GLO, glowresources.com. That's just Baton Rouge. They've got New Orleans and Miami and Orlando and Houston and the Golden Triangle. I mean, they got offices all over. And they can help businesses anywhere in the country, doing business anywhere in the world. You need the right people. You need Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
Coming up, we will put Alondra to the Nickelback challenge. She doesn't even know what's going to happen. I think you might have a clue now.
I think I have a clue.
You tried to
And
flex in the break.
Ace it.
No, you're not. You tried to flex in the break, and I'm telling you, we're going to create, one way or another, we're creating some type of viral content. One way or another.
Oh my gosh.
It is either going to be beautiful or a beautiful disaster.
Yeah.
But either way, we will create some type of viral content.
I'm leaning toward the latter, but it's
Do
fine.
not cheat.
On my love.
On our love.
On our love.
I was explaining to Alondra, by the way,
Messed it
before
up.
that's awkward, I was explaining to Alondra in the break that my wife, whenever in their family, like, you can't lie to someone if you lie on our love. So you can't say, they're like, on our love. You can't lie on our love. I lie on our love all the time because, like, I don't subscribe to their family stupid thing. But they do it all the time. So that's why, anyway, that's what that was just there. Okay. Alondra, don't cheat.
Not.
All right.
I gotta look for Tigers in the Pros, though.
It's fine.
So I'm not gonna look at the lyrics.
Don't cheat. Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right. Lots of baseball because there's a lot of Tigers in the show. Dylan Cruz was off to a rough start in his sophomore season, little sophomore slump. But he finally broke it a little bit. Before this weekend, he was 0 for 18 with no hits. This weekend, though, went 3 for 11 with a hit on Friday and 2 yesterday. So batting average went from 0 to 103.
Had a bit.
Breggy.
0.
Breggy doing Breggy things, as always.
Yeah.
Went 6 for 13 this weekend with 7 RBI and 1 home run. He's hitting .341 on the season.
Massive shot to center on Sunday Night Baseball.
Doing it on a disgusting team, but it's fine. Aaron Nola pitched 6 innings on Saturday. He gave up 7 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts, but Philly still swept the Dodgers this weekend. Jake Fraley, 3 for 9 this weekend, 1 run versus the Brewers. Kevin Gausman, he pitched on Friday, 5 1/3, gave up 2 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts. And Josh Smith probably having, besides Alex Bregman, the best season out of all the Tigers.
Right.
5 for 8 this weekend, 4 runs, an RBI, a home run on Friday versus the Rays, hitting .333 on the season. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com. Gents, if you're thinking of popping the question, my goodness, why would you go anywhere other than Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry? 9 locations in all: Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport. Thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where you always get the Lee Michaels experience. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry.
After further review.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. For the second time in as many days, a college basketball champion will be crowned. Yesterday, it was the Connecticut women winning a 12th title. Tonight, Florida and Houston clash in the men's national championship game. It'll be battled strength on strength. Gators ranked second in the nation in KenPom in adjusted offensive efficiency. Cougars ranked first in adjusted defensive efficiency. Two-time national champion with the Florida Gators, Corey Brewer.
They're pressure. Those guys, they defend. And they're going to pressure, so we got to take care of the ball. We can take care of the ball and, don't let the pressure get to us, we win the game. But those guys play hard. Coach Sampson's a great coach, man. He's been coaching for a long time, been doing it for a long time. And so we got to stay ready, stay poised, stay calm, handle the pressure, and we win.
Corey Brewer on Unsportsmanlike. Baseball, Tigers beat the Yankees 6-2 in their series opener. New York went 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position and left 7 men on base. LSU is filling its newly created men's basketball GM with Milwaukee Bucks global scouting director Ronnie Dupree, a former LSU and NBA player.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. And now a no-frills ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Here it is. You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's it. See? Just a good old-fashioned, straightforward ad. See if you could save at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
Chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Alondra Villarreal. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Musso's out. Otter is in Monaco, so no Otter. Seriously, so no Otter locks later today. But boy, do we have something special coming, as we will put Alondra Villarreal to the test. And you better not cheat either. I don't want to see no cheating.
I'm not going to cheat.
Integrity, Alondra. It's what you do when nobody's looking.
When I was in elementary school,
yeah,
I won an award for integrity. That's
Love
all
that.
I'm saying.
Love that. Feeling optimistic about this then. As long as you don't cheat. All right, we'll do that later. David Dellucci joins us every Monday here, talking a little SEC baseball. Luch, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, man. LSU sweeps Oklahoma. I'm not going to start there, though, because what in the world happened in Knoxville? I mean, A&M gets no hit and run ruled, and then comes back to win the series and run rules Tennessee. Make this make sense.
Can't do it. It's just the SEC. I mean, it's. But look, let's not forget. At way long time ago, they were the preseason #1 team in the country, that being A&M. So you would expect them at some point to snap out of it, especially on the offensive side, because there's just so many weapons in that lineup. The fact that they did it against Tennessee, who was annihilating teams every single outing after a no-hitter, after a 10-run rule, is incredible. All I can say is maybe this has or will kickstart A&M, and they'll start playing up to their potential, and maybe this is exactly, if you're a Tennessee fan or player, what they needed as a wake-up call during the middle part of the season, so that they don't or underestimate other teams coming up.
Look, it's baseball and teams lose. It's just that we understand that happens. I'm just curious how much of a concern you think this is for Tennessee that they lost this series to that team at home the manner in which they did. Like, is that a serious? Are there serious red flags for Tennessee, or is this just a one-off outlier?
Yeah, I believe it's just you caught a team that got hot for 2 games. You know, it was a doubleheader now, so it wasn't like it was over a bunch of days. And everybody we always talk about, teams that play Missouri. Better watch out. Missouri can sneak up on you. Don't underestimate them. Well, it just so happened to be A&M, just a different team, but something that every single coach and every player worries about. It can happen. I mean, in the SEC, all of these teams are very good, especially A&M, man. It's not a bad team. They're a good team. They've just been playing bad. And who knows? I mean, look, remember where LSU was last year. This may kickstart A&M. It may get them on a hot streak, and they may end up in the postseason somewhere.
I mean, man, I do remember LSU last year. The schedule was brutal to start. It got lighter in the second half, and they made their hay. Man. Luch, at some point, you're just a bad team, though, right? Like, if you're playing bad, like, that just identifies what you are. You are what your record says you are. It's fascinating to see not only that A&M won a series, but where they won it, the manner in which they won it was just stunning. So something to file away and continue to watch as we move forward. And how about Texas? I mean, this was a top 10, top 5 matchup in the country with Texas and Georgia. So, I mean, what do we make of Texas or Georgia? Like, what's the bigger takeaway here? Texas sweeping, Georgia being swept?
I think we come out of that one going, man, you know what? Texas is really good. I mean, Texas won the series against LSU. I think at the time LSU was ranked, number 3 or something like that. The question mark for Texas, everybody knew that they were going to hit. Everybody knew that Schlossnagle is an outstanding coach. They were going to have a great offensive approach. But their question was always depth in the bullpen, and it still is. They're just, when they put guys in the game, they just get outs. I mean, that's what they do. There's not a whole lot of guys that they can depend on. So I think in the regular season, they're a very strong team. We're curious to see as we go down, or if a pitcher gets injured, or if they have to go deep into a bullpen, how are they going to fare? But they haven't had that problem lately because their pitchers are just so good. They throw strikes, they get ahead in the count, and they outscore everybody. And right now, that's the key to winning.
David Dellucci is with us. What about Georgia? And what do we make of Georgia at this point in the season with all the great offensive numbers? They go to Texas and manage 8 runs in 3 games.
Yeah, I think, a good team that had an off weekend, kind of like Tennessee. You go out of there and say, you know what, Texas is a good team. They beat us. They got us this weekend. Let's look forward to a midweek matchup and next weekend. That's just what the SEC is, man. You cannot get too down and you cannot get too high because every single weekend is a challenge, and every one of these teams can play good enough to beat you every single time you go out there. So the competition is very, very equal. It's very tough, and I think Georgia's going to be fine. I have no worries about them.
Let's talk about LSU. David Dellucci is with us from the SEC Network, joins us every Monday here on AFR, talk about the weekend that was in the conference. Tigers go on the road and sweep Oklahoma. It was obviously, Luch, conditions that favored pitching and defense. But as you look at LSU doing that on the road, what would be the single biggest takeaway for LSU as you're starting to project this team forward?
Really, really pleased with the pitching. I mean, it's just spectacular, and they've got a bona fide ace in Cade Anderson. Anthony Ianson did really well the last couple outings. I mean, this outing he was 5 2/3 innings. Can't ask more of that. Chase Shores pitched 5 innings, so you got your 3 starters are doing outstanding. And for goodness sakes, you used 5 pitchers in a 3-game SEC series. That's incredible. So I'm really, really high on the pitching staff. I think they're doing outstanding. Chase Shores, in my opinion, is getting better and better every outing. So you got to feel good about that. And then Kason Evans and Zach Cowan coming out of the bullpen, I mean, they slammed the door. So the hitters are going to hit. They're going to score runs. But for me, they played against an Oklahoma team that wasn't tremendously powerful, but they worked the counts. They're a scrappy team. They force you to make errors when they get on the bases. Not this weekend. Yeah. LSU played sound and like a championship team.
Yeah. I'll ask you a similar question here, Luch, that we talked about before, but you only needed 5 pitchers this weekend, which is incredible. I mean, they did not allow an earned run. That's never LSU's got records from SEC weekends that go back to 1992. That's never happened, where they've gone an SEC weekend without allowing an earned run. That's stunning. So is it sustainable to think you could do this and win a championship with 5 guys?
It's going to be hard, man. It's going to be hard. I mean, that's the knock on Texas right now is you can't do that. When you get into the postseason and somebody's going to have an offensive outburst, you're going to have to go deep into the bullpen. But yeah, I think they're fine, man. I mean, we keep waiting for Gavin Guidry to come back, and we keep saying he's coming, next week. At some point, we expect him to come back. I think that's going to bolster the bullpen, and you just ride it as long as you can. Jay Johnson is a master at getting guys to step up toward the end of the season when we're talking about pitching. He did it last year, Ty Floyd. I mean, he's going to do it again this year. So you ride what you have right now, and you keep the momentum going.
A couple more for you, Luch. Let me ask you about Ole Miss, because this is crazy. This was a team that was off everybody's radar. I mean, Mike Bianco has almost gotten fired every year, it seems, since they won the national championship. And you wake up today, and Ole Miss is a top 10 team in the country. I'll ask you sort of a macro question. How were they able to do this, to come from the brink to now being a top 10 team?
Portal heavy. This is a veteran ball club that they went out and they got a bunch of older guys that came in there, and they're never overwhelmed, and they never feel like they're out of the game. They have had the potential to lose the last 2 series, especially against Florida. I was there. I watched it in person. And they just go out there and grind, man. And I think that's the way that we will start seeing these teams build their rosters every single year. That's been successful for not only Ole Miss but a lot of other teams. Is instead of developing players, they're going to bring in the best guys that they can in the portal, and that's the formula that we're going to. Unfortunately, if you're a high school kid, there's not a whole lot of opportunities for you in the next several years because of this portal deal, and that's what Ole Miss went to. They didn't do it before, and that's the reason they are where they are right now.
He is David Dellucci, of course. SEC Network does great stuff. Good enough to join us every Monday here on AFR during baseball season. That's Councilman David Dellucci, by the way. When's the swearing in?
I don't know. I don't know what the next step is.
What? You win an election and you don't know, like, when you get sworn in? When's the first meeting? When do you get to go up to the microphone and pound the gavel? No, I guess you wouldn't have a gavel, but like a podium or a dais or whatever it would be.
No, I don't take office until July the 1st.
Okay.
And so there's a couple other things we need to take care of between now and then. I think next week it'll be official. But I'm going to council meetings. Heck, I've been out in the community and working on some projects already, helping our residents. So I'm working, baby. It may not be official, but I'm out there.
Luch, so I live in St. George. For those that don't know, it's the newly formed city of St. George. But like on my mail, I still write Baton Rouge. Like, should I write Baton Rouge or should I write St. George?
You can write St. George if you want. They really only look at the zip code. I've heard from another number of reliable sources. You can put Las Vegas on there as long as you have the zip code right. That's where it's going. That's all they worry about.
I could put the
write
North
St.
Pole.
George, man.
I could put the North Pole.
Yeah. Help yourself. Right, St. George. You get used to it.
What if I call it Moscona, Louisiana, and then put my zip code?
That's hilarious. Try it.
I'm writing myself a letter tonight and mailing it to myself.
I'll write one to you. I'll mail it to Moscona, Louisiana.
And I'll mail one to you to Dellucci, Louisiana. How about that? I love this idea. This is what happens whenever people in power. They have the power to do stuff like this, like change city names and everything. I'm kidding, obviously, Luch.
That's hilarious.
David Dellucci. But again, I know we told you last week, but congrats again. It's awesome. We're looking forward to all the good stuff. And we appreciate you every Monday, man. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
All right,
have a great night.
You do the same. Be well. It's David Dellucci. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. You know what, man? Every single day, I bring Drew to school, and every single day I buckle him into his car seat. And I get behind the wheel of my Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. And before that, I had an Atlas. And before that, I had a CC. Before that, I had a Passat. And I keep driving Volkswagens because primarily of the safety. the highest safety designation you can get. And I know every single day when I buckle Drew into his car seat and I'm driving, I'm in one of the safest vehicles on the road. And Erica drives an Atlas, and I know every day when she leaves the house, she's driving one of the safest vehicles on the road. Like, that gives you tremendous peace of mind. And oh, by the way, they're stylish, and they perform great, and they're fun to drive, and they get great gas mileage, and they last, and you get the great German engineering, and they're manufactured in Tennessee at their Chattanooga plant, so you're supporting American jobs. If you've never shopped for a Volkswagen, just put it on your list. Go test drive one. I promise you'll be thrilled. South Point Volkswagen, airline just north of Highland, or southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, y'all, been a really good show. Glad you're hanging out with us here. The Saints had another top 30 visit, and I think is a very intriguing prospect, not necessarily because of who he is, but the position he plays, which we're not talking enough about. So I'm going to get to that next, and we have the Alondra Challenge coming up. Don't cheat, Alondra. Swear, Alondra. Swear you won't cheat. Swear to it.
I swear.
All right, Alondra's not going to cheat. We have the Alondra Challenge coming up in a little bit. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Action Industries, the advanced turnaround group over at Action Industries. Great friends, great partners of ours, and great community members over at Action Industries. Remember, at Action Industries, they've got the advanced turnaround group. Your turnaround season is here, March to October. And if you got upcoming turnaround projects, choose the experts at the advanced turnaround group from Action Industries. These are professionals with unmatched experience in turnaround management. They offer specialty welding services, and you will get personalized attention, just like you do with Action Industries. The advanced turnaround is a completely different set of resources. They offer 24-hour emergency availability. You can trust the advanced turnaround group. Their entire careers are focused on turnaround excellence. So check out the advanced turnaround group over at Action Industries, proud partner of LSU Athletics.
At Atmos Energy, our smart choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Thanks again, David Dellucci, for joining us. Remember, you can always email us, tweet us, or text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Raymond sent a text. He said, that was actually very helpful. He said, I grew up in Central my whole life, and it was Greenwell Springs. But when we changed the city of Central, never sure what to put. Now I know all I need is the zip code. It doesn't matter. That's actually true. And I learned that actually since I've been an owner in parish construction and roofing. It's odd how I learned that, connect the dots. But yes, what you put down for the city name doesn't actually matter. What matters is the zip code. Like for example, there's a postal address, and I knew this in college, for Notre Dame. Like you can write in the postal address, people will put Notre Dame, Indiana, although it's in South Bend, but because there's a post office on the campus, they do have their own postal address. So you can, if you're sending mail to the campus, you can write Notre Dame, Indiana, and a lot of people often do. Anyway, none of that really matters. But yes, it's interesting. But remember, we got to hold Luch accountable. Remember, hold the rich and powerful accountable. He said he was sending me a letter to Moscona, Louisiana, and I said I would send him something to Dellucci, Louisiana. So if next week we're here and I don't have a letter from David Dellucci addressed to Moscona, Louisiana with my zip code, I think we have to wonder. Promises kept, right? A politician's promise is kept. Let's go, Luch. Don't you forget it. This is not the sheet of paper I need. That's not the one. Nope. Not it. It's not that one either. What the hell is the sheet of paper I need? Where's my notes? Oh, there it is. I was going nuts, Alondra.
I was going to say, what are you looking for? I was going to try to help you out.
No, I got tons of papers. It's on the rundown, what I'm talking about here, but I have all these papers, and I guess everything just got out of order.
Come on.
I grabbed the wrong one. It didn't get out of order. I put it out of order. Clearly, I'm the one with all the papers. It's my fault, but I was like, that's not the right sheet of paper. Here it is. I got it.
It's Monday.
Yes, all day. And I'm just a little thrown off, Alondra, because I'm way more excited about what's coming up in 10 minutes than I am to talk about this. I'm talking about some Saints stuff here. But in 10 minutes, we're putting Alondra to the test. Because she walked in here trying to flex, peacocking a little, like, I'm the host of Coffee and Flannel. I know everything. And we're about to find out.
I think I can.
And if she does, guess what? It's going to be awesome.
At least the first verse.
And if she don't, it's going to be awesome. Either way, this is going to be awesome.
Why do I feel like you're going to send this to Chris Marler immediately?
I'm not sending nothing to Chris Marler. Now, Paul may send it to Chris Marler immediately. But we'll find out. I'll leave that up to Paul's own jurisdiction. That's Paul's area as the OTT video manager here. Okay. As we inch closer to the NFL draft, everybody's making their predictions. Who the Saints going to take at 9? You're seeing 7-round mock drafts, all that good stuff. I am always more interested in what concrete evidence we have as opposed to people's opinions. What I mean is, if the Saints send a bevy of front office executive to a team's pro day, that gets my attention. If the Saints use one of their top 30 visits to bring a prospect to their facility to work them out privately and get to know them, that has my attention. A media member doing a mock draft doesn't necessarily have my attention as much because it's their opinion, and it could be educated, and I'll pay attention to it a little bit, but it's not as interesting as something like this. So when the Saints bring someone in for a top 30 visit, my antenna is going to go up, and I'm curious about who it is, what their background is, how they may fit, what position they play, all that stuff. And Ian Rappaport reported that Louisville defensive back Quincy Riley took a top 30 visit to the Saints. Now, if you don't know the name, that's okay. He's a big corner, just under 5'11", 194 pounds, got a 31-inch wingspan. So, or 31-inch arm. So he's got a huge wingspan and reach, which really fits the mold of what the Saints have looked for in a defensive back. Now, the caveat, the asterisk, the parenthetical note is whenever we've had a conversation about what the Saints look for, that's been with Dennis Allen. And they have wanted bigger cornerbacks. if it was Marshawn Lattimore, if it was Paulson Adebo, if it's Alontae Taylor. Like, they've wanted that certain mold of defensive back. I don't know if that's what Brandon Staley is going to want. We'll find out. And then we'll also find out if Staley or Kellen Moore have the autonomy to make that decision, or if it's still Mickey Loomis or Jeff Ireland. Like, we're going to learn a lot throughout this process with the new staff. For what it's worth, Jeff Brom, the head coach at Louisville, had this to say about his pupil, Quincy Riley.
Well, Quincy's an outstanding corner, and he has been all year long. He's just got great instincts. He's got great feel. He understands the position. He's really smart. He's a guy back there you have to account for, and I think he just always comes through when we need it. So very proud of him. He's been a leader of our defense. He's been able to play the entire year, and he's just done a great job. All
right, so that's high praise from the coach. Great leader, great defensive back. You love to hear all that. Like, you love to hear the check marks and all the superlatives. If you asked me the New Orleans Saints' biggest needs in this draft, or even musts, like, you cannot come out of this draft without a player at this position, I would actually argue that offensively, the position is receiver. You cannot come out of this draft without an impact receiver. Number two, I would put offensive line, because you still don't have a left guard. You signed Dylan Radins in free agency, but that feels maybe like a Band-Aid, and you could be finding like the next guy that'll start for 10 years for you. Defensively, I would tell you the number one must defensively is cornerback. Like, you would love to have another pass rusher, but you paid Chase Young. You already paid Carl Granderson. You drafted Isaiah Foskey. You still got Cam Jordan. Like, you've got bodies there, and you've got investment there. I still keep telling you I would love Mason Graham at number 9 overall at defensive tackle, but like you traded for a defensive tackle, in Devon Gottschall. You've still got Colin Saunders and Nathan Shepard and Brian Brzee. So, like, you've got numbers and contracts and veterans there. I think you need depth at linebacker, but your two starters are entrenched right now in Demario Davis and Pete Werner. At safety, you've got Tyron, and you just spent a bunch of money on Justin Reed. You got to get a cornerback. The two starters for you a year ago, week one, are gone. You traded Marshawn Lattimore, and Paulson Adebo is now with the Giants. And while I think Kool-Aid McKinstry has a really high ceiling, could certainly play the boundary in the NFL, a year ago when Adebo got hurt and you traded Lattimore, you kicked Alontae Taylor outside. Y'all, I was looking at this today. Alontae Taylor played 605 snaps as a wide corner, 358 in the slot. So he effectively, whenever you traded Lattimore and Adebo was hurt, you had to kick Alontae Taylor outside. His overall defensive grade was a 45, according to PFF. His coverage grade was a 35.4. That's out of 100. His tackling grade was a 36. Alontae Taylor was a straight liability for you defensively last year. And I think that's in part because he's playing out of position. I think he's either a slot corner or he's a safety. I do not think Alontae Taylor can play boundary corner in the NFL. That's my opinion. I may very well be wrong. He may start there next season, have an all-pro year, and you can all point and laugh at me, and I would be thrilled if you did, because it means they hit on this guy and he can play boundary corner. I just think what's revealed is, like, that ain't his best spot. He might have been a very good or competent boundary corner in college. I think in the NFL, everybody finds what their spot is. And I think for him, it's slot or safety. And we'll see where that may go eventually. But that means you have got to draft a cornerback. Whether you plan to put whoever you draft out wide or in the slot, you got to get one. Like, it's a non-negotiable. So when I start to look at someone like Quincy Riley, who the Saints have brought in as a top 30 visit, that could be someone that they target with the 40th overall pick in round 2. Maybe it's someone, if you last to round 3, you're pumped about that to get him. But ultimately, what you're talking about is, you got Will Johnson from Michigan, who could be on the board for New Orleans at 9. And if they choose to take a cornerback there, I'm pumped. I've been very transparent about this. When you are as bad as the Saints are and you need everything, whatever you do at 9, if you take one of the top players in the draft at that respective position, I'm going to be pumped. You take Will Campbell, awesome. You either have a starting left guard or you move Penning in and you have a starting right tackle. There's whatever you do. If you take Will Johnson, you got a day one starter at corner, awesome. If you take Mykel Williams or James Pierce, great. You can never have too many edge rushers, and you were middle of the pack last year in the NFL, 20th in the NFL in sacks a year ago. You see, if you take Tetairoa McMillan, I'm pumped. You get a big-bodied receiver, which you don't have right now, that's going to help your offense get going a little bit. You see what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what you do at 9, I'm going to be pumped. But if you don't go Will Johnson at 9, like if you don't get a corner there, you are going to need to be looking in very short order at someone that can be an immediate impact guy for you. And I understand last year you took Kool-Aid, and 2 years ago you took Alante, but it's all been, the need is magnified because of the fact that you lost Paulson Adebo in free agency and you traded Marshawn Lattimore. I don't mind that you traded Lattimore. I think it was the right decision. Clearly, look at how he played down the stretch. I mean, you were able to get a valuable draft asset in exchange for an aging player. Fantastic. I'm very much okay with the trade. But I think a lot of us were operating under the assumption that the Saints were going to be able to re-sign Paulson Adebo, and he got a massive deal from New York, and good for him, but it just magnified the need at cornerback. And I would say defensively, that is your single biggest must. You cannot come out of this draft without a cornerback who can be an immediate impact guy for you. And I think that means at 9 or at 40, you're looking at cornerback. And or they could always trade up, or trade back up or back in, which they're want to do from time to time. But it's one of those things that you got to be able to address in this draft. Not take a day 3 flyer on a guy and hope that he emerges for you. It's find a guy that you expect can be an immediate impact guy, and it's at that spot. And it was necessitated by the roster decisions you made, letting Paulson Adebo walk in free agency and trading Marshawn Lattimore. Again, which I'm okay. I'm okay with those, but you got to address it. And you didn't in free agency means you have to in the draft. So file this name away. Quincy Riley from Louisville, a guy they liked enough not only to send cornerbacks coach Grady Brown to the Louisville Pro Day, but also to bring Quincy Riley to New Orleans for a top 30. And he was also a Senior Bowl participant, so the Saints got a good look at him there as well. Dude checks a lot of boxes. A name that we should be keeping an eye on, Quincy Riley from Louisville. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by our friends over at Duplessis Builders. Hey, DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. Thinking of building a pool or an outdoor kitchen? DuplessisBuilders.net is the website. I love telling you about Duplessis Builders for so many reasons. First of all, Derek's an awesome guy. Louisiana born and bred. His company's built out of Ascension Parish. They got their brand new showroom open on Airline Highway, corner of Airline and Duplessis Lane, right next to the new Rouses. Of course, they support the Tigers. Derek's an LSU alum. He's done NIL deals with Harlem Berry, last year with Kyron Lacey. It's a great way that they're helping the Tiger, Jacob Myers, helping the Tigers continue to win. But also, the quality of the work and the experience is unmatched. It's not just me saying it. I shared this with you last week, which is incredible. Duplessis Builders was featured in an article in Yahoo Finance about the smart technology they're using in their pools. Like, that's really kind of amazing to think about it. Like, you have a local company that's featured on Yahoo Finance. I mean, here it is. Duplessis Builders, leading pool contractor, introduces smart pool technology in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and more as demand for energy-efficient pools grow. I mean, there it is. It's featured on Yahoo Finance. It's crazy. So anyway, if you want to learn more about it, you can at DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. Okay, we're glad you're with us. Been a really good show. No Otter locks today as Jimmy's in Monaco watching tennis. It's good to be Jimmy Ott. Alondra, you nervous?
No, I feel good about it.
Okay.
I feel pretty confident.
Alondra was out here peacocking earlier. We're about to put the host of Coffee and Flannel on Eagle 98.1 to the test.
To be fair, it's a 2000 song.
Don't care. But what?
I'm gonna ace this test.
What does it mean that it's? What is that it's a 2000 song? What
we
is
only
it?
do 90s on Coffee and Flannel.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But Nickelback.
Yeah, it's part of the 90s.
Part of the 90s.
Yeah.
All right, this next save.
AFR.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. A little cold snap right now, but y'all, you know what's coming. Huh. You know what's coming. Time to spruce up those flower beds, y'all. Spring is here. Flower beds, patio pots, around your pool. You can still plant vegetables, but understanding it's a little past that time. If you want to plant a vegetable garden, by all means, knock yourself out. But they have an amazing selection right now of hibiscus plants, You want to add a pop of color to those patio pots and around the pool? That's a great way to do it. Tons of bedding plants in stock over at Clegg's. They kind of call this time Flower Mania at Clegg's. It's when every day they get these new selections in. The inventory is just coming in of all the spring and summer bloomers that brighten things up. You go from those like fall and winter earth tones to now these beautiful spring and summer flowers. So just plant something. Clegg's Nursery can help. 4 locations. Get on by and see them today at Clegg's Nursery.
It's not just a game. It's a religion. You've got your team color, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always. No paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
For the review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
.1045 ESPN Baton Rouge and the Baton Rouge Clinic bring you the 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon. Dreams Come True is an organization designed to help grant dreams for children with life-threatening illnesses and their families. The following local businesses have also pledged to match your donations throughout the month: Lewis Mechanical, Patient Plus, and Action Industries, plus Subaru of Baton Rouge, Service Chevrolet, Luba, and Duplessis Pool Builders. Visit 1045ESPN.com to help us reach our goal, and together we can make dreams come true.
On Friday, Alondra went to Nickelback.
Yeah. It was awesome.
I'll take your word for it. I'm not hating on Nickelback. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's not get bogged down in the details. It's already 5:39. Would you like to point out what you said as we were... So explain what happened with Rockstar.
So they picked a kid out of the crowd to sing Rockstar with Chad Kroeger. And you were like, did he know the words? I'm like, he nailed it. And then you said, I don't know how this came up, but I was like, I think if I went up there, I'd be able to sing all of the lyrics too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although you said it in not nearly as like humble and a passive
No.
way.
I was very adamant that I could sing all of the lyrics.
Oh, you'd nail it.
Rockstar. Yeah,
like,
I would nail it.
Like you would be up there singing it, and the crowd would boo Chad Kroeger whenever he went to sing the next song and say, "Bring back the chick from Coffee and Flannel."
Yeah.
That's kind of the vibe
They'd be like,
you
turn
gave
her
off.
mic up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Turn her up.
It's Paul. Is that what happened? You were here. You were witness to it all.
That is true.
Okay. So I said, guess what's happening now? This is where my former FM music radio DJ brain goes.
Yeah.
Alondra is now going to do karaoke to Rockstar.
What do I win?
Here, Pride.
Ugh, okay.
Coffee and Flannel.
I get to keep the show.
Yeah. How about that? Credibility.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have here the instrumental version of Rockstar by Nickelback, and Alondra, who says she nailed it, knows every word. She knows every word. She nailed it. By the way, this is just you and me in here and Paulie. Like, you're not even on stage in front of a crowd of thousands of people with Chad Kroeger standing 5 feet from you.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, actually, I think that'd be pretty cool. I'd do it. But I'd ask him, I'd be like, bro, you got an iPad with the words on it? Like, can I get my phone now? Because, like, if I had the words, I think I'd be good with you, bro. Like, I know it's been a minute, but I think I got it. You know, something about
I think I got it.
a bathroom so big you can play baseball in it.
Yeah.
There's something like that in there. I think I got it, you know. Cut my hair and change my name. I got a few of them. I just want to be a big rock star, man. I'm playing slam a barrel down 15 cars. See, that's all I got.
I'm already about to do better than you.
Yeah, I'm not the one who said I could nail it. I never liked this song to begin with.
It's a great song.
Are you ready? Tell me when.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
I'm through with standing in line. Oh, wait. Oh, it's an ad.
Here it comes.
I'm through with standing in lines to clothes I'll never get in. It's like the bottom of the ninth, and I'm never gonna win. This life hasn't turned out quite the way I want it to be.
What you wanna do?
I want a brand new house on an episode of Cribs, and a bathroom I could play baseball in, and a king-size tub big enough for 10 plus me.
What you wanna do?
I want a credit card that's got no limit. I already messed up. I play by jet with the bedroom. Gonna join the Mile High Club at 37,000 feet. I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and
Want
fame.
a new tour bus full of old guitars
and a star on Hollywood Boulevard. Somewhere between Cher and James Dean is fine for me.
Yep.
I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. Might even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses, driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. We'll all stay skinny cause we just won't eat, and we'll hang out in the coolest bars with the VIP, with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy
I screwed up and I'm looking at the
bunny
words.
with bleached blonde hair, and hey, I wanna be a rock star. I got this one. Hey, I wanna be a rock star. I wanna be great like Elvis without the tassels. 8 bodyguards that love to beat up.
Oh.
Okay, beat my meals for free. No, I already messed this one up.
Latest fashion, got a front
Door key to the Playboy Mansion.
Data Santa
Ford loves to blow my money for me.
What you wanna do? I'm gonna
Trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars, living hilltop houses, driving 15 cars. Girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. We'll all stay skinny cause we just won't eat, and we'll hang out in the coolest bars with the VIP, with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with the beach blonde hair. And hey, private rooms and the latest dictionary and today's who's who. They'll get you anything with that evil smile. Everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial.
You. Scandalous.
Hey, I wanna be a rock star.
Sing it, Paulie. Bring us home.
Come on, Paul.
Here we go, Paulie.
I don't know the word.
Those songs that have
Putting the
been.
sensors, pop all my pills from a Pez dispenser. Get washed up singers writing all my songs. Lip sync them every night so I don't get them wrong. Cause we all just want to be big rock stars, living hilltop houses, driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. We'll all stay skinny cause we just won't eat, and we'll hang out in the coolest bars in the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with a beach blonde hair. And we'll hide out in the private rooms with the latest dictionary and today's who's who. They'll get you anything with that evil smile. Everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial. Well, hey, hey, I wanna be a rock star. Hey, hey, I wanna be a rock star.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of nailed that a little bit.
All right. I'll tell you.
I'm not a singer, but
no, respect. I'll tell you, there were a few articles and prepositions that you messed up.
Yeah.
Like a the or a
Those
the
don't
and or a
matter.
the. Yeah, kind of, but they do. And you definitely screwed up the part about the jet with
Yes,
the bedroom, that
I
whole
did
thing.
mess that one up.
I brought it back for you
Yeah.
there. So that was one
Thanks,
big
teammate.
one big kerfuffle there.
But I would still say I got like an A. A minus.
It depends if we're grading on a curve. Yeah, because I probably had to give you a solid B, maybe a B plus.
Yeah.
If we're grading on a curve, that might bump you up to like an A minus. It was a big mess up that you had.
The jet one?
The jet,
Yeah,
big mess up.
absolutely it
Without
was.
the jet mess up, it's a solid A.
Yeah.
Solid A without the jet mess
That's
up.
like
But the jet mess
the
up was pretty
best
big.
lyric too.
Well, way to screw up the
I
best lyric.
know, I really
So then I
did.
should give you a C since you screwed up the
No,
best lyric.
No, B plus. I'll settle for a B plus. I would love an A, but the B plus is fine.
All right, more off the bench is coming up here. Stay fun.
AFR.
All right, we're brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com. I'm actually going to be over there tomorrow visiting with Gabe. Lots of stuff going on, man. I know I love all the feedback I'm getting from my friends over at Goodwood about how many of you are taking our advice and you're going over there, and how many guys and ladies alike are going and you're doing the blood test and you're learning about HRT and all the possibilities that are there over at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Listen, I know there's, for a lot of people, a stigma or shame or whatever may go along with it. I'm here to tell you, like, I've been on HRT for a long time now, and it was something that for me in my life was life-changing. I mean, we lived a crazy situation where we lived in a hospital for 9 months, and it just physically and biologically aged me. And so it was a perfect time. And HRT can safely and affordably supplement you to get you to healthy levels to feel great again. Stop being sick and tired all the time. yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh yeah, they also do interior shutters.
It's okay, Alondra.
I know, I was like, my bad.
No worries. We have our final segment bed that we go into here on AFR, and Alondra forgot it. But that's okay. This is better because it's called Hitting the Post, Alondra.
Yeah.
Little radio lesson for you there. How about that?
I love hitting the post.
Take that. Take that, Michelle Southern. Huh. All right, down the stretch we come. We're glad you're with us here on this Monday edition of AFR, presented by Relief Windows. Big shout out to Brandon Holly, the gang over at Relief Windows. Are awesome. We appreciate them for being here with us. No Jimmy today. He's in Monaco, seriously, watching tennis, so he's out all week. I think we're going to have some Masters picks from the Live at Lunch crew middle of the week, so we'll get to that. Tonight, National Championship game. I'm just fall over stunned with how it went down with Duke and Houston. If you were watching the game on Saturday night, Duke just had it. They were just playing out the string, but you wonder why you go through the exercise of fouling and free throws and all the things that happen there. It's for the one in a million odds of what happened on Saturday night, where Duke was very firmly in control when the Houston player committed the technical foul, reaching across the ball on the inline on the inbound, across the end line on the inbound to swat the ball away. I thought that was ball game right there, the free throw and possession. But Houston cranked up the defense. They made a couple of clutch threes, made their free throws. Duke didn't. And now Houston's going to play Florida for the national championship. Florida is a 1.5-point favorite in this game, but two very contrasting styles. But, I mean, Houston upending Duke, bigger challenge, just talent, right, than what they'll face in Florida. No disrespect to Florida. They're playing in the national championship game. They've been outstanding. So we'll see how tonight goes. Not that anybody cares about brackets, but our ESPN bracket challenge, I think Hester's going to win it. So Hester and I were tied going into the weekend, and I had Duke-Auburn in the championship game with Auburn winning it. Hester had Florida-Duke in the championship game with Florida winning it. So either way, with Florida advancing, Hester win for the ESPN bracket challenge. And I guess we'll have tomorrow the winner of our bracket challenge and the $1,000 cash. So we'll be excited about that. So thanks to everybody who participated in the Vex European bracket challenge with 1045ESPN.com. Say it all the time. I mean, everybody's going to fill out a bracket anyway, so you might as well play our bracket challenge as well. So we appreciate y'all for doing so. So we'll let you know who the winner is, and we'll congratulate that winner tomorrow. And the cool thing, too, is there was also a separate bracket, a separate challenge for Sweet 16 and a separate for Final Four. So we'll have all of our winners tomorrow. We'll be able to announce it. But enjoy the championship game tonight. 7:50 is the tip on CBS. It's kind of odd that it's so late, man. Like a 7:50 tip. I mean, I guess the good thing is that college basketball usually, a little over 2 hours. You're out of there. Probably be a little longer tonight with it being the national championship game. But couple hours, and we'll know who the national champion will be. Will it be Florida representing the deepest league in the history of college basketball, or will Houston and Kelvin Sampson win their first championship? We'll find out from San Antonio. You fired up that it's in San Antonio, Alondra? Are your people going?
No, they're not going, but I would have been fired up if I was there. I'm fired up that Cooper Flagg was in the Spurs arena, though. A little foreshadowing, maybe.
So what you mean when Cooper Flagg is wearing a Pels uniform and goes to play the Spurs because they're in the same division? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I guess.
A little foreshadowing in that way?
Maybe.
I mean, look, here's what I know. Even if the Pels get the number 1 pick and take Cooper Flagg, they're going to screw it up.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen the movie twice before. There's just no reason for me to think that it's going to go well. But I'm a masochist, and I love the city, and I love the teams, and I'm going to keep watching them and pulling for them and being sad all the time. Can we get anything that wins, please? Anything. See you tomorrow.
AFR.
Getting on down the road, remind you about Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com, ShawbillsTire.com, with locations all over South Louisiana. Y'all, find the location nearest you. Shop tires online, schedule service online. So easy to do when you go to ShawbillsTire.com. That's ShawbillsTire.com. If you are buying tires, you want to buy the best tires on the road, cheapest price possible, get them at Shawbills. And you know one of the things I tell you about all the time is how they treat you like family and how people stay there and work there because they have a family atmosphere at Shawbills. Like I just saw this post today on all their social media. Kleiny Stevens is celebrating his 10th anniversary working at Shawbills. Like, shout out to Kleiny. Congrats on your 10-year anniversary at Shawbills. But just another indication of what I'm talking about. People love it there. They're like a family at Shawbills, where we keep you rolling.
At Atmos Energy, our smart choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
You work hard every day to pursue a life you love. You put in the time, and it shows. You're forging ahead, chasing a dream, creating something better for the ones you love. You're building your own life. So why not build your own tractor? With John Deere tractors and attachments for almost any need, the Sunshine Team can help you do just that. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine.